Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You're listening to the What It Do podcast. Oh, yeah.
Bro, those baby videos,
they're fucking hilarious.
They're fucking hilarious. I saw one where it's the Macho Man Randy Savage and it was the baby. I was like, oh my God, that's great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. The only reason I even brought it up, because it's been in my head. I was like, I'm going to jump in the shower to get ready to come to the podcast, right? So I'm sitting there and I turn on the water, but the fucking water never gets hot. And I'm like, fuck, did my water heater go out? So I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, man, I can't do this right now. I'm like, you know what? You ain't got time. You ain't got. I was like, oh, you're gonna get in there. Hold on, let me get him in character. You're gonna take that shower. Yeah, brother. I'm gonna reach down into the abyss of your soul. You're gonna take this. I just got in there. I was like, fucking shower was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It felt great. But it was cold.
When you got out, did you say, oh, yeah?
The whole time I'm talking, I'm throwing in yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I was like, man, I got out of that bitch and then hauled ass over there to deal with that other problem. I'm putting out fires today. It came up here, man, but...
You got him knocked out, though.
Oh, I got him knocked out with all through a cold shower. You know, I think that's what I need to do. Just like, don't even think about it. Cold shower.
Cold shower does something for you. Takes you out of that comfort zone.
Oh,
for sure.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Where'd my kids go?
Oh, dude.
Damn.
But anyways, I was like, man, with all my other crap going on, like my truck, it's misfiring now. And I've been on the hunt for a new truck.
Yeah.
But the thought of paying another payment, it's eating me alive. My truck's almost, I got like two more payments, like one more payment left in my truck.
How many miles do you have on your truck?
I have over 300,000 miles on my truck.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
He's got his money out of that.
Yeah.
Truck.
Oh, yeah. I definitely did. And I think there's minor problems, but it's coming to the point where it's like, all right, man.
He bought it with 60,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But man, I go and look.
That's a good truck.
Oh, yeah. It's a damn good truck, man. Damn good truck. And I'm afraid to get something else because I'm like, dude, some of these, like, I want a good, dependable truck, right? But I don't want to get like a small truck, just because I need the room to throw all my crap in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because it's been a little bit since I bought a truck, right? Dude, these prices haven't gone down at all. If anything, like the same year model, my truck nowadays is literally what I paid for it 4 years ago.
I think the interest rate too is kind of fucked because even if you have good credit, you're still paying a high percentage. Yeah. So it's like.
So I'm looking at these, like a brand new. I was looking at a brand new F-150. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not too bad. I'm sitting there thinking. I'm thinking of
you deserve
2019 prices. You
got a podcast.
Yeah, you got a podcast. Yeah, it hasn't paid for anything yet.
You can buy me one too.
I was like. Ooh. So I was sitting there asking the guy, and I'm like, "Yo, so how much am I in this?" He's like, "You're gonna be like $950 a month." I was like,
"Fuck you, bro.
Bye. I'm out." I was
honestly, gone are the days of $500, $600, $700, maybe $7. You might get away with $7, but I don't.
Where's for a truck? Yeah, 100%. I think my wife got her car down to like $2 something. She's only paying $200.
She's a hell of a negotiator.
Well, Yeah. Yeah. I had to be there when she bought that car.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
They were about to get her good.
See, that's
it is hard.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
We just bought my son. We bought him a car, and he's his payments are $329 a month, And of course it's not a brand new car. Of course you're not going to buy a brand new car for that kind of for that payment.
But he got a good car though.
Oh, he got a good car. He got a good little 2017 Honda Civic.
Oh, nice.
Payments are great. So I was proud of him. That's what kind of like, all right, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to get a truck. And then fuck that.
Trucks, man.
Fuck that. I'm sitting there talking to these guys, right? And they're like, yeah, what's normal coming out of here? I know you got your people that pay low payments, people that pay really high payments. What's your norm? He's like, dude, with a straight face, he told me $1,200, $1,300 a month. Fuck. I was like, you're retarded. I'm not paying that. I was like, what's the highest payment that you've seen come out of here? I was like, $1,800 a month. For what?
People are spending all their money for a car.
Yeah, their car broke.
Yeah. Car broke and house broke, man.
I would just rather buy used.
Oh yeah, like, all day.
That's actually a better financial decision because when you buy something brand new, immediately the moment you buy it, it loses $10,000 in value 100%. Right off the top. At least when you're buying used, it's not, it is what it is, know. Unless you got rolled over, and that's your own fault. But
unless it's a T-shirt.
You know what?
Anyway, before we get any further, welcome back, guys, to another episode of the WID podcast. In the studio this week, we got Mr. Brian Duffy.
What up?
Welcome back.
Thank you for coming back, man.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Sometimes we forget that. We get into conversation and just like, hold on a second.
I was waiting for it.
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh,
we get heavy into conversation around here, and it's just like, I forgot we're on the podcast.
But it's that little, the little pep. Before.
We definitely.
We had a podcast before the podcast.
We sure did.
It works though.
Oh yeah, man!
It gets the flow.
Break the ice. Kind of everybody's get the blood flowing.
Get back into it.
Get a cold shower going.
Talk about your parents' weird
macho man out
fucking hallway.
Yeah. Oh, I know, man.
What's that?
I did. Wait, did I tell you about the hallway?
Yeah, we just talked about the hallway.
Yeah, man.
Well, we talked about the house, but I didn't talk about the scary story of the. There is an actual scary story of the.
Tell us, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
hold on, you're not gonna gloss over the scary story.
Okay,
everybody wants to know.
Let me separate the stories, though. Okay, because now I know what you're talking about. So their new house, they have that. That's the room that you were talking into. It's like a storage area, and it is kind of scary.
The disappointment room.
The disappointment room. You got A's, A minuses? No. It doesn't work around here.
Go to the room.
No, in their house that they're selling, there is a hallway. So it was an open floor concept. So like the kitchen, or not the kitchen, the dining and living room area were kind of connected, and it's just like one big open room. Yeah. And then on one end of that, there's a hallway that goes down to my brother's bedroom, my sister's bedroom, and then there's like an L. And there's a bathroom and then my bedroom at the end of it, right? So it's like an L hallway.
He's talking about his parents' house.
Yes. So one time, I think I've told this story before, but you haven't heard it yet. So we had a cat. My mom had a cat, and it was in the house, and I'm sitting in the kitchen area at the dining room table, and I'm facing the TV in the living room. My brother's sitting on the couch. He's watching TV. My sister's on the other end of the section or whatever. She's watching TV. Well, the cat's walking from the dining area to the living room area, and it stops right and it gets in front of the hallway. And it stares down the hallway, and it starts to arch its back, and the hair goes on end, and it starts grabbing. There was carpet, and it starts grabbing the carpet and hissing. And my brother, I'm looking at it like, what the fuck? And then my brother's like looking over at the couch like, what the fuck? And then he looks at me, and I'm looking at him like, I don't fucking know. And we're both like looking down the hallway. What's down there? What the fuck's going on?
Fucking sitcom movie.
So me being the sick bastard that I am, I go over there. I grab the cat.
Candyman.
It's clawing the fuck out of me, and I go,
whew, and throw down the hallway.
He said, "Go get it."
Dude, it's carpet down the hallway. You hear carpet being ripped up as that fucking cat is hauling ass
to get out of there.
Back out of the hallway to get out of there.
Damn. And this is the house you grew up in?
This is the house I grew up in, yeah. And I don't know what the fuck. I never had any weird. I had one weird incident, but nothing like where I saw something or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was wild. I mean, cats are kind of a trip anyway, but...
What was the cat's name?
What was that cat's name?
Fluffers.
It was a black cat. I can't remember what the name.
Oh yeah, you gotta,
left fluffer.
Yeah, Fluffer. You gotta watch out for those black cats.
It was a black cat.
They'll bring in weird spirits.
My mom felt bad for it. I think it was a stray, and she was like, "No, they're gonna kill it because it's a black cat," And she took it in and took care of it.
My mom used to say stuff like that too.
Yeah,
I never really understood the stigma behind black cats. I mean, I understand like you see a black cat middle of the road, turn the fuck around, right? But
see, I don't have because we had a black cat. I don't have that stigma about it.
Yeah, it's crazy too because I don't believe it. But when I see a black cat,
oh, there's a cat.
Yeah, well, I see.
You're like, don't you cross me?
You hold on. You stay on that side of the road. Let me pass. But if I see one pass me, even though I don't believe it, I'm like, nah, I'll turn. I'm like, why risk it?
Why risk it? My mom used to do that a lot too. We were going through like, I think it was Eden or something, and like back off in one of the neighborhoods is a weird little like cemetery.
Yeah.
Or something. And I remember this black cat was standing right in the middle of the road, and my mom stopped dead in the tracks, like speed limit 40 miles an hour. She was like, nope, where can we go? Can we go around? Is there another block we could go around?
Really?
She straight up went down a different street to go all the way around this cat.
Oh, wow.
I was like, it's a fucking cat.
Yeah, she was not about to. Yeah. Don't you put that evil on me.
I told her, I was like, let me out. I'll go move the fucking cat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
I would have waited. I'm like, okay, wait, are you coming or going? Let's figure this out. I'll go into the bar that you go around to.
Yeah, I'm just going to park here and wait for you to make a decision. And then I'll make my decision.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that, but man, why risk it? Why risk it?
And what's funny is like growing up there, like I grew up on 17th Street. There I was like a teenager. So between like 14 till I was 18, I lived at that house. Damn, only 4 years. Holy shit. But regardless, I didn't have any I don't remember like there being any freaky things there, but I do remember one time I was in my 20s and I went over to kind of like house sit because they had all taken a vacation, and it was right around Christmas time. So they had went to go visit my aunt in Tennessee. So I go over there. It's just me. And I was watching.
You're the only 10 I see.
Yeah, hey. I remember I fell asleep in the living room watching TV. I like that though.
It's getting hot and heavy
now.
This is
my sister had gotten a new stereo for Christmas, and I wake up. It's like 3 a.m. I wake up out of a dead ass sleep to the stereo playing full blast in her bedroom. I'm the only person in the house.
Tiptoe through the
Like,
window.
what the fuck? Oh my God, if it would have been that song, holy
Jump
shit.
through the window.
So I'm like, somebody fucking broke in the fucking house. So I fucking go, I grabbed a bat because I think that was the closest thing I can just grab because I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to fucking go smash somebody, and fucking kick the door in, and there's nobody in that fucking room, but the stereo is on full blast. And I'm like, I probably had an alarm on it or something, I find the remote. The remote hadn't even been taken out of the package, doesn't even have the batteries put in it yet. So I was like, wasn't that? So I turn it off and I start looking at it. I was like, probably has some settings on here. Nope. Didn't have an alarm or a clock. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck?
That happened to me one time.
I unplugged it and I left. I was like, nope, not staying here tonight.
Hold on, that was your house. Where'd you go?
No, that wasn't my house. I was like in my 20s already. I was just kind of like going over, like I was house sitting.
Yeah, you were taking food.
I was taking food.
I get it.
Making a sandwich before you go.
I was feeding the
what do y'all got in the
animals. I was feeding the dogs and the cats.
They got real hungry.
Yeah.
Watch
But
some TV.
dude, that was the only other the cat incident and that incident was my only weird incident.
Dude, I've had a lot of weird things happen. Weird experiences. Like my grandma's house, for instance, she lives over on 40th Street, and her house is, her and her neighbor were the first houses in that area. Like they've shown me pictures and when they first bought the house, and it's nothing but like mesquite trees all over. I was gonna say woods, but
that's kind of woods though. That's West Texas woods.
Yeah, fucking, look at that mesquite tree over there. Their neighbor, this guy, apparently he was like, I don't know the full story, just what I've been told by my mom and everybody else, but this guy was like handicapped or something. He was in a wheelchair and he couldn't like take care of himself. So my grandma would go over there and take care of him. Like she would go over there, like, cook him something to eat, just neighborly love kind of thing, right? Yeah. And it got weird, and this guy was like one time sitting out on his porch or something, and my mom and my aunt were outside playing, and he was like, hey, call your grandma over here. I need some help. And they didn't think anything of it because that's just
what she did.
Yeah, she would go over there, help him out, whatever. And next thing from what my mom tells me is like next thing she knows is like my grandpa's pulling up with his brother. They bust out their shotguns out of their car and all kinds of shit, and they're like, where's your grandma, all kinds of shit. And my grandma's not over at that guy's house yet, so whenever they pull up, a sheriff pulls up with them, and then the sheriff goes up to the guy's house, and I don't know exactly what the dude was doing or anything, but they end up getting in a gunfight basically, and they killed the dude's dog. We've all seen John Wick. We know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
And they fucking the dude ends up dying, right? And this was right next door to my grandma's house. So ever since I heard that story as a kid, like the first time I ever heard that story, I was like maybe 5, 6 years old. I grew up over at my grandma's house. I was fucking terrified of that place after that because I always thought, like, you know, there's weird shit happening. Like you go into my grandma's house, and I go in there and I feel welcome. You know, it's my grandma's house. You know, I grew up there. But anybody else that goes over there, they're like, nah.
Oh shit!
This is a weird fucking house. Like, this is weird, right? And then the next door neighbor's house where the guy lived, I will never fucking go in that house. I went in there one time. I had a buddy, his family moved in. We went to school together, and he lived right next door to me. So, of course, I'd go hang out with my friend.
Nah.
Nope. I'd be like, you want to
come into my house?
Come across the fence or something?
Did you ever figure out why the police showed up?
No, I have no idea. I think my mom said something about, like, I don't know, like from what my mom's told me is he was basically planning on either killing my grandma whenever she came over there, or he was going to do something to her. But I never heard too much, you know, like parents won't tell you everything kind of thing. But other than that, man, that was a crazy moment. We used to live at this house over on Van Buren, right at the dip, right there on the park.
Oh, yeah.
These people live there now. They made a badass, they welded up a cool fence out front. I wish them the best of luck because fuck that house, dude. I've woken up with scratches down my back. I've woken up with like weird, like just weird shit happening. Like,
oh shit.
One time we were sitting in our living room watching TV, or we're watching a movie or something. It was around Christmas time. We had our Christmas tree up, and out of nowhere, dude, these ornaments just started flying off the fucking Christmas tree.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mind you, that was the weirdest shit I've ever had happen besides in Christoval. Christoval's fucking crazy. I'll go there to swim and fish.
Yeah, you're gone before the sun goes down.
Yeah, I'm out of there. But
it's like a sundown town for ghosts.
Especially the bathhouse, dude. The bathhouse down there in Christoval, like it's fucking weird. But that house town over on Van Buren, man, dude, there was weird stuff happening all the time, like ornaments falling off the tree or whatever. My drums, because at the time my mom bought me a little like Walmart drum set so I could try to learn how to play drums. I never learned how to play, but my drums would always, like, you could hear them like dong, dong.
Oh hell
dong,
no.
like,
goddamn ghost dropping his nutsack on the
yeah, dude's fucking
dough back.
Well, we're actually going through something right now at our house that we just bought. I don't believe in any of that, right? I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in God, whatever. I think we're here and then we die. You know what I mean? We're just here. But this weird thing happened the other day, and I'm trying to figure out what to blame it on. Like, I'm trying to be like,
find the reason. Yeah,
the wind's blowing this way. There's no wind in my house. What the fuck? Like, fucking central heat and air, you know? It's not that gusty in there, but...
That's a strong fan up there.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? So the other day, my wife, she goes to bed pretty early. She works all day, every day. She goes to bed early. she was chilling. She was sleeping in bed in our room. We have a three bedroom house, and it's just me and my wife. We got 3 dogs, no kids, no nothing like that. Thank God. Fucking, I was getting ready to go to bed. Usually at night, you know, I'm playing video games or dealing with stuff online, dealing with customers on Instagram or whatever. I end up going into my room to get my phone charger, and I open the door, the bedroom door, and usually, so we have 2 dogs. We have Tucker, he's a pit bull, he's a really cool dog. We have Aries, he's also a pit bull, but we can't keep them together because they fight.
Yeah.
So it's just like a male dominance thing. Tucker's the young buck, and Aries is like, no, I run this shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we keep them apart. So there's always one dog with her when she's sleeping, and I prefer that anyways, just so there's some kind of like household alarm system or whatever. I don't believe in technology. I got a dog, you know what I mean?
Hey, man.
I got a dog and I got a gun. I'm good.
Dogs are good though. You can't go wrong with a good dog.
Yeah, exactly. But I opened the bedroom door. The dog was chilling. I think it was Aries. He was like passed the fuck out on the bed, right? And then out of nowhere, like our closet door, there was like some hangers on the closet door, and they just go woof, like move. And I was like, there's nothing to indicate why those would be moving right now. Like I didn't open the door drastically to cause a wind. That's what I told my wife, but she's been hinting at it for like the past year. She's like, I just feel like, you know, there's something like something watching me or something like that. And I'm like, nah, it's probably just like the old house, you know, it was built in the 40s,
it's settling.
whatever.
It's still settling.
Yeah. It's built in the 40s. It's settling. It's fine. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
And she's just like, she's actually kind of scared about it, you know?
Shit.
And I feel bad because like, I don't care about that stuff. Like, if you're haunting, like, pay my fucking mortgage, you know? Like, I don't care. Like,
Or do something to entertain.
Ain't no free rides
wash
around.
the fucking dishes or something, dude.
Ain't no
Like,
free
I don't
rides around
care.
here.
Fucking,
Ass or ghost ass.
right.
One or the other.
exactly. But it's weird because you know how, like, people say, like, you kind of manifest that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you believe something is there,
Breathe
then
life into
there's
it.
something going to be there.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on things. Like, if you believe something's gonna happen, it's like putting things out to the universe, you're gonna get it back sevenfold. You know,
Yeah.
like if you think there's something there, you're about to fucking bring Satan himself out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Change your mindset.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I believe in it. I do
Yeah.
because I believe in ghosts. Because
We did go.
yeah,
Have y'all ever heard of Senko?
no.
It's an old fucking town right outside of Robert Lee.
Oh yes. Where
like
they have the Senko plants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
but
It's a rock quarry.
Well, no. There's the actual town. It's off of 208.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't
and
know
there's
that.
a very big graveyard there.
Yeah.
It's not super big, but it's big. It's all the original people of Senko.
Oh, shit.
They got like leprosy and stuff, so they were like, yeah, it was crazy. But we used to go out there to like ghost hunt or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna incriminate myself. We used to
Allegedly.
yeah, we used to allegedly we would break into the fucking school out there, and we would go because it's abandoned. Like there's like at that time there was only 2 people, like 2 houses that people actually lived in out there, and now I think there's actually more people living out there now, which is crazy. But we used to go into the school and all kinds of stuff. When we did that, I can kind of believe in spirits, but I don't believe in it as like a ghost, someone dead haunting a place or whatever. You know, I think it's just like something that we can't even comprehend type of thing. But
Kind of extra dimensional type shit.
yeah, pretty much like what y'all were talking about with Cozy last week.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the fucking interstellar type shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain
I
it.
was your
but
ghost the whole time.
we had something follow us from Senko all the way back to my buddy's house over on Washington. And I shit you not, dude. We fucking kept going because his house was haunted as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
that place was spooky. And we would go in there or after we got back from Senko, because we'd stay out there till like 1, 2, 3 a.m. You know, we want the prime time shit.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
want that witching hours type shit.
we're paying all this money for gas. We're gonna get something out of it. You know what I mean? But actually, that's when gas was affordable. But we came back to his house here, and then I don't know where, like, shit just started popping off. Like, cabinet doors would open up. Fucking, I got pushed down the stairs. That was crazy. I could have got pushed by one of them, but I don't know. It was crazy. But I've had a lot of weird things happen like that.
Oh yeah, man.
We started off early on in the podcast. We kind of got into like paranormal stuff. Like we were trying to figure out what do we do here? You know,
Yeah.
what are we doing? We were just looking for different things to get
finding
into.
out our niche.
Yeah, and Tiffany used to work at the Pearl. Is that cool, Tiffany? If I said that,
Yeah.
Okay. She used to work at the Pearl. Pearl's actually known as a haunted hotel in San Angelo. So she gets us access over there.
Which one's the Pearl?
That's
Pearl on the Concho.
Pearl on the Concho. This is
That's the one that was shut down for a long time.
Yeah, that one.
it used
Dude,
to
I
be
used to break in there so many
Yeah.
times.
Allegedly.
Skateboarding in the
allegedly.
No, I did it.
Allegedly?
I'll tell you right now, SAPD. It was me. I'm just kidding.
Statute of limitations up, brother.
Yeah, it used to be like a
That's
bunch of
funny.
different. It used to be like Howard Johnson. It used to be. I think
Used
it
to be
was
Holiday Inn.
originally Holiday Inn or something.
Used to be
like
the
that.
homeless
Fundo.
inn too.
Used to be a homeless
Yeah.
inn. Yeah. Well, there's this. What would you call it? A suite or like a?
Yeah, it's a sweet.
What, the one that we went upstairs?
Yeah.
The penthouse?
Well, the penthouse. There you go. So we went to different places. Like we moved the whole podcast to a room there, and then we were like, "All right, we're ready to do this." And then we went ghost hunting. Then we go out to the back, which was ironically we couldn't get into that room, which you normally are able to get into that room. Right? It's like all of a sudden we can't get into the room now, which normally she's able to get into this room because we're trying to like let's check it out, see what's going on, you know? Because there's like a whole back building that's not being used.
Yeah.
Homeless people lived in it at one time. So, anyways, we're doing that. We're walking around the hotel looking for shit. We were in the convention area.
Yeah, the venue, the back venue.
Yeah, back venue. We go down into the kitchen area of that venue. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was a weird feeling when we were there. Got out of there, go back to the room that you got.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a little bit more on the podcast. Then we pause it and we're like, all right, we're ready. Let's go to the penthouse. What's the story in the penthouse, Tiffany? Somebody died in there or killed themselves in there or something like that?
I'm sure there's a couple of them there, but the one I know is that like there was a whole
It's like the place to go fucking
Yeah.
die or something.
that there was like it was like a whole a wedding or whatever. So like, you know, the couples had the penthouse wherever. So I guess the groom had got really like drunk or whatever, but the pool is down below.
Yeah.
The pool layout was different at the time, so but it was, you know, obviously like it's 3 stories. So he got really drunk, and as he was going back to the hotel room, he decided he was like, oh, I could just, you know, go into the pool or whatever.
Make it.
And make it. Well, he didn't make it. So there was
They had
that.
to change out the water.
There was that.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where somebody like shot themselves inside the penthouse.
Yo, when I went
Oh,
into
shit.
that master bedroom, though, I guess what would be the master bedroom, we were sitting there taking pictures of this whole thing, and I happened to look up, and I guess there was
Like
a
a
flash,
splash?
like a splatter of shit behind him.
Yeah.
And I said there, I called you into the room. I was like, damn, look at that. He's like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, imagine there was a bed right here, and I was sitting on the edge of it, and I had a gun in my mouth. And I went, boom.
Like, that would have been the perfect spot for it.
Because, yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was just splattered
What's
all
creepy
over.
about it? Here's
They
what's
just painted over.
Yeah, that's all it was.
here's what's creepy about that penthouse. The entire hotel has been redone, you know, updated and fixed. That penthouse has not been touched. It is. They left it alone for some fucking reason. They're like, nope, don't fuck with it. Leave it alone. There's furniture in there that you just leave everything.
Maybe every time they go to work on it, something happens or something. You
Maybe.
know, where's that man? Fuck
But
that.
it's wild because that's a
crazy.
pretty good sized square
Yeah,
footage
the
that they're
rooms are-
missing out on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But every
It's
fucking
just money they're
room
leaving
in
on
that
the
entire hotel has been renovated.
But
But they left that alone.
But I get it, you know, because I know this realtor, right? She's redoing some houses. She's redoing the Dead Horse, you know, downtown. And she actually got a priest to go bless the fucking Dead Horse and another house that she's working on. The house used to belong to my mom. You know, we grew up there. But it's like problems upon problems upon problems. She caught it on video where I guess there's a mug or something on the bar.
Yeah.
You know, and there's cameras inside because you want to make sure no one's going in there fucking with your shit. You see that fucking cup or whatever the fuck it was fly across the room.
Oh,
There's nobody there.
They caught it on video.
They caught it on video.
So that was our whole thing because we're in there with cameras, microphones, and we're all, bro. We are so hyped up. This is the crazy part, right? We're so hyped up. We're like trying to fucking find shit. Like we're trying to find shit. We finally, all right, we're done at the penthouse. We're gonna go back down to the hotel and finish off the podcast. When we left that not the hotel, we're gonna leave that penthouse room, go back down to our hotel room. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. We leave the penthouse, and everybody just loses their energy.
Dude, I got back to the room and I literally sat down in front of the mic and I dozed off.
Everybody was just done. We were just like, no energy.
I was like, what the fuck? What's going on, man? I was like, why am I so tired?
I'm gonna have to pause. Y'all just scared the piss out of me.
Yeah, but that shit was crazy, man.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually
Because we were so gun ho. You remember that, Tiffany? I mean, we were all about it.
Everybody felt that.
Everybody with our group was just all of a sudden we left that penthouse and our energy was gone.
Oh man. I mean, it's kind of cool, you know. Everyone hopes to get something like that, at least something on film.
Yeah.
You know, and some of these people, like, I mean, some of the people that we've had on here, some of the people that we've talked to say, hey, man, this is like for sure haunted. You know, you're going to see something tonight, you know. But no one ever pulls the trigger to go do it. Because I'm like, hold on, what if he's like for real? You know, what if we do see something? You know, I'm like, how do you explain that?
What if it goes home with you? That was my thing.
Exactly.
What if I don't want to take nothing home with me? Fuck that.
And that's why y'all didn't go further into.
That's why we stopped.
Explore.
That is exactly why we stopped.
Because it wasn't long after that. I think it was a couple of days, maybe a week after that, right? I'm sitting there saying, I'm laying in bed. And I was like, because I was thinking about that, you know. I wasn't really thinking about it, but I was going to bed and there's something, you know, you get that eerie feeling like someone's watching you, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I kind of pull my blanket down a little bit. I kind of look over my shoulder. I'm like, I don't see anything, but there's just like this weird shadow because the shadows in my room change all the time. You know, I notice it all the time.
You got a window with big windows in your room?
I got 2 big windows in my room.
Oh yeah,
but they have the blackout curtains on them, so you can't see anything. You know, all you see is the lights off the router and shit like that. You know, or my printer. But that night I'm sitting there and I'm chilling. I'm like, God, there's somebody in the fucking room, man. You know, and I feel over to the side.
Like you feel like the eyes watching you. That
Well, yeah. You know, and I reach over and I touch my wife because I'm like, is she still laying down? So she is. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, maybe I'm just tripping, right? So I feel something. I was like, kind of like the temperature changed a little bit, or maybe like a little gust of wind, right?
Okay.
So
when there shouldn't be a gust of wind? When there shouldn't
be. And I'm sitting there, right? I'm laying there with my head. I'm kind of, at this point, I kind of bring my comforter up a little bit up to my head, right?
Yeah.
And I literally feel like somebody stepped on the mattress. Like somebody put their weight on the mattress. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know?
And was this all right around the time when we were
it was like a week later.
It was a week after we were doing all this. Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck? So I kind of feel it because I know it because I keep my feet real close to the edge of the bed. So when I felt that weight, I felt my feet slide off a little bit, kind of like closer to the edge. I'm like, the fuck? So I'm thinking this whole entire time, like it was dark. You know, I want to say I probably dozed off for a little bit, but I came to when I felt somebody come in the room. So I'm thinking, that's my son. It's my youngest one, right? He's trying to climb in the bed. You know, because sometimes when he was at...
you kick your legs? And
it was like 2 years ago. Right? Get out of here. Yeah. So he was like 8 years old, right? So I'm like, what the... All right, so it's Evan, you know. He's climbing in the bed. And I feel it, like he just stays there. And I'm like, are you going to come all the way up in the bed? I don't hear shit. All of a sudden, I hear this. I'm not here. I feel the weight come off the bed. And I'm like,
ooh. Like somebody was sitting at the edge of your
bed? Yeah, like somebody was sitting on the edge. So I'm sitting there, and the way I lay, I can see, I mean, the door's right there, so I can see the door. So I'm thinking it's Evan. He's like, oh. Hold on. I knew it wasn't Evan, but I'm like, nope, it was Evan. It was Evan. So I'm waiting for the door to open back up because he's probably going back to his room. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. Never. The door never opens. You know, I'm like, fuck. Of course, I didn't hear the door open either for him to come in. So that's why I was like, maybe I dozed off and it was like something weird feeling I was having. No, man.
Nothing.
I get up and I go check. Evan's asleep. He's dead asleep. And I'm like, fuck that. I climb back in the bed. I do a gator roll with my comforter. I was like, all right, I gotta pick up my feet, throw my
Come get me now, bitch.
pick up my feet, throw the comforter under my feet, put my feet on top of the comforter, bring my comforter a little bit closer to the head, you know.
Well, it's good you did that with your feet. Because if your feet are exposed, they'll get you.
They'll get you. I've heard that.
They'll
I've heard that.
That's the story, right?
Like, oh, that son of a bitch. We can't get his feet.
Well, that was right around the time when we were trying to figure out how we wanted the podcast to go, because we kind of got into that. Like,
yeah, we got into it.
But then it was like,
didn't want to chance nothing.
Do we really want to do that?
do we want to poke this thing? You know, I don't know if we want to. It was like, I think, you know, the more and more you fuck with it, the more it's gonna fuck with you back. You know, and I'm like, maybe we should
kind of give it a rest.
We're a comedy podcast.
we don't do ghost stories. We don't talk about shit like that. But like some of the people that we've had in here that talk about that, you know, of course we had a real deep conversation about it. You know, they have no reason to lie to me. Like, they're real close to me. You
Your
know,
cousin Victor.
Oh yeah, that's the most.
Had some scariest one. Like, that was pretty fucking
wild.
wild.
I went to his house, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, bro, are you by yourself? He's like, I was like, no. I was like, dude, if you got company, I'll come back some other time, man. I'll come back later. He's like, nah, man, it's just me and you. I was like, nah, bro, I just heard somebody in the hallway. He's like, no, man, it's literally just me and you. So I'm over here. I'm like, okay, he's got like a.
He's got a chicken.
He's got a torta in the back, you know. So he's like, all right, I get it, you know, I get it. I was single once, you know. So I'm like, hey, man, I'll come back. He's like, no, seriously, dude, it's just me and you in the house. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, I don't feel comfortable in the living room. So I walked to the kitchen. I'm sitting there on the kitchen table, and right behind me is a hallway, you know, just so I could see. I was like, if there's somebody here, I could be able to see them. And I'm sitting there just chilling, man. And I feel like this ominous, bro, like this weight come over me. Like there's somebody, oh my God, there's somebody behind me. Mm-hmm. So I turn around, there ain't nobody there. He's like, you all right? And I was like, no, dude, there's somebody here. He's like, oh yeah, I thought you couldn't feel it. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, you can feel this shit? He's like, yeah, dude, you can. Like, there's just like this thickening that happens in the air around you. And I'm like,
it's real stale.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm going to head out.
Good to see you, cuz.
Yeah. Good luck to you and your whoever's behind me.
See you on the news.
Bro. I got the fuck out of there, man.
I remember we've had him on a couple of times, and he's had some wild ones. I'm like, bro, really?
I'm just like, damn, that's like real vivid, dude. The story never changes, so I'm like, all right, because sometimes
the one where he had something walk into his bedroom that smiled at him, and it had the smile like as wide as like the Cheshire cat.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like the baby from
inspired the movie
Passion of the Christ.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. But then
it's like it was a baby, but yeah, big old thing. And he's like, sometimes you'll see him in my room, you know, because he'll see the door open. Sometimes he'll be in the fucking doorway, you know, and they won't come in. He's like, sometimes I can stop them before they even come in the room, you know, or sometimes they'll come.
Is he renting or?
No, he owns his house.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
This whole time I thought it was BS. You know, I'm like, well, hold on, man. Are you asleep? He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, it feels like I'm awake, but when I get jarred, it's like I wake up. You know, it's kind of weird. But the one he told me is like, because he was with this girl, right? And this girl stayed in the house with him. And I guess they were living together. And
really? He had a girl?
Yeah, he had a girl. So he's asleep. I mean, he's laid there in the bed, right? And this whatever comes in the fucking room. And it was more like a guy wearing a hoodie, you know? And I may be butchering that, but it was something like
He had the Hat Man too, didn't he?
He had the Hat Man
Holy
too.
Holy shit.
So he's sitting there and he's
I
like,
forgot about that.
Yeah, because there's like 4 entities that everybody sees, you know. And I'm like, why does everybody see these 4? But anyways, I digress. So anyways, he's sitting there and he's making these noises, like he's trying to move, right? So his girl wakes up. He's like, the fuck is with all the noise you're making, right? So when she wakes up, she's kind of getting her bearings together. She's like, what's wrong with you? You know, because I can't sleep. You're fucking making these fucking moves. She's like, she happens to catch the dude in the hoodie in the peripheral of her eyes, when she looks, she sees it go down and run out the fucking hallway. So she's like, what the fuck? And I was like, is that the first time? He's like, as far as I know, that's the first time anybody besides me has ever saw it.
That's fucking wild.
So she's like, fuck, she packed your shit, and that was it.
She's like, all right.
That was that relationship.
I'm out.
That was
Good
that
luck with
relationship.
you.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, bro. So
That's fucking crazy.
yeah. So
You've heard of the shadow people that these are these entities that people around the world see.
Yeah.
I don't know about I haven't never heard of the hoodie one, but the Hat Man is the one that a lot of people sees, and it's like this shadow figure, and it's wearing like a top hat.
Yeah.
And it's like and when people do see that one, bad shit usually happens.
Yeah.
Like they get attacked, or somebody in the family gets attacked, or some fucked up shit usually happens.
Because there's 4 of them. There's the guy with the hat. There's the guy with the hoodie. There's the guy with the red eyes, and then the old hag.
The old hag too. I forgot about that.
So
But that one's kind of creepy because now there's the old lady, this old evil, sinister looking lady.
Ooh.
Yeah, it gets
I'd
on your
be boxing someone,
yeah.
dude.
But that's the problem, man. Is that once you're experiencing this, you're not able to move.
You're in now.
Yeah, you're in.
Because you're in shock. You're just like,
Yeah.
No idea.
or they have
Total
you
body
stunned.
paralysis.
What were you gonna say, Tiff?
Crazy.
I was gonna say, like, there was a guest at the hotel who claimed that they saw a man with the hat.
The Hat Man.
Yeah, and they won't stay on that side of the hotel. Every time they would stay there, they
Yeah.
would. They please.
I'd have
you know?
never stay at
Be
that
the
hotel
first
ever
one.
again.
Yeah.
Let me be the first one to be able to move. I'm shooting that motherfucker.
You know what's funny is
Fuck, bah, bah.
off the podcast we were talking about like a recent like outer body experience that I had, and do you remember how we were talking before? Because you always ask your cousin like, why didn't you what'd you do after it happened? Did you get up and leave? And like, no, I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like everybody always just goes like, you just had this terrifying thing happen to you, but then you just go right to sleep like no big deal.
It already happened.
It's like your energy got taken out of you.
Yeah.
So April, my wife, had asked me the same thing because I didn't tell her for a couple of days because I didn't want to freak her the fuck out. And I was like, I got to tell you something. I couldn't keep it from her, and I told her, and she was like, "What did you do after?" I went back to sleep.
Yeah.
I did. I fell back asleep like
Crashed
hard. Like I really like crashed the
You're
fuck out after
exhausted.
that.
But do you also think that
mentally
maybe like
exhausted.
our minds just can't process that? And that's why we're like, you know what?
Maybe.
I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Well,
Maybe.
it happens to so many. Like there's so many stories and so many different people. Like I've heard this over and over and over again, right? And I did I won't say research because it's kind of my own little research, but it's like these people that I meet, they don't know each other. Like the one that lived out in Bronx, he was a field hand. He moved from Kilgore, Texas, out to Bronx, and I basically had I got onto the guy because I'm like, dude, you cannot, because he would show up to the lease. I don't know when he would show up, but he would sleep out in the lease at the Battery where there was light. And I'm like, bro, you cannot sleep out here because if
It's dangerous.
yeah, it's dangerous, man. We got H2S everywhere. You're gonna fucking croak over, I don't want to show up to the Battery
Like,
with you
I'd
dead.
rather sleep out here.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what it was, And I hit him up, and I was like, I'm like, what's the issue? What's the problem, man? Because this is the second time I've caught you at the Battery, man, and it's becoming a problem, Because I'm worried about your safety because I don't want to drive up to the field and have a dead body because you decided to sleep out here. He's like, man, there's something that fucking wakes me up in the middle of the night, won't leave me alone, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, boom, he was intrigued because as of right now, you're like the 4th person that I know that goes through this shit. So he starts telling me, and I'm like, so man, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Is it the guy wearing a hoodie or the hat or the guy wearing like a top hat looking thing? And he stops. He's like, yo,
How do you know about that guy?
how do you know about that? And I'm like, I can
Like,
only.
it's me.
Yeah, it's me, bro.
I'm watching
it's me. I'm in your house.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I started explaining to him, and he's like, he's starting to freak out, and he's like, bro, have you seen these? He's like, don't fuck with me, man. Don't fuck with me. Have you seen these? And I'm like, no, bro, I haven't seen them, but I know other people that talk about the same shit, So at this moment, I'm curious, man. I'm like, I'm all in because I've heard this for years, So I'm like, hey, bro, your laptop, you got a camera on it, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, turn that son of a bitch on, man. When you go to sleep, turn it on. He's like, nah, man, I don't want to go to sleep at the house.
Just record yourself.
Yeah, record yourself. I'm going to show you. I was like, I feel bad too, though, because I'm like, I know he's going to see shit, but I'm trying to convince him. Look, bro, if you see there's something there, I'll show you. Look, there's nothing there, Me thinking this whole time, oh, there's something there. We're gonna get this shit on camera. You know, we're about to make some money.
We're about to go viral.
Set him up
Yeah,
as bait.
I was like, hell yeah. So, anyways, he goes home. He does it right. So, I come out early because I get an alarm out there. So I'm hauling ass. Literally the next day, I drive out to the battery. He's asleep at the battery again. I was like, God damn it, dude. I was like, what did I tell you? You want to sleep somewhere? Go sleep at the office. Or go to Stripes because there's a Stripe and Brown, you know. And I think it was kind of country at the time. I was like, go sleep there. Don't come out to the lease, man. Quit doing this, you know. And he's like, all right, man, and blah blah blah. I was like, I'll you just get your rest. I gotta go do what I gotta do, and then I'll come back and we'll talk. So I go and I handle my business, man. He literally takes off. He's sleeping on the side of the road off the highway 158 going towards. So I'm like, hey man, what's going on, dude? He's like, man, I did what you said. He's like, he reaches over to the side and he throws his fucking laptop on the floor. That some bitch, he's like, it got it. It literally took the laptop and folded it over the other way.
Damn.
What the hell?
Everything was cracked in it. He's like, look, that's what it did.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah.
I'm like, what the
So
fuck?
I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? He's like, that's what it did. And he goes over there. He's like, that's not even the only thing, man. He takes his shirt off. He's all beat up. He's got red marks and fucking all over his body.
Damn.
Well, he stuck around
Someone
for.
said, if you want to film, I'll give you
Yeah,
something
right.
to film. Fucking beat your ass.
Yeah. Go out there with a fucking bar of soap and a sock and beat his ass. So, needless to say, man, that day was the last day that I ever saw him. Because he quit that day. He's like, I'm out. I'm headed back
I
to
would have
Kilgore.
too.
Yeah.
I would have been fucking gone.
So this whole time, bro, I'm sitting there looking at this house, right?
The house is still abandoned.
It's still abandoned. It rents every now and then, but they don't last long.
They don't last long. Every time I drive by that house, it's usually overgrown with weeds because there's nobody there.
They're just like, they'll rent it out,
crazy.
stay for a little bit, and they're gone, man.
They'd be better off knocking that house down.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do is like the next person that goes there, I want to go knock on the door. I'm like, hey, man, I got to ask you, dude, is there anything weird about this house? For him to be like, get out of here. It's you, sir.
What did you do? The only thing
Don't
weird,
ever come back here.
the only thing weird is you, sir.
Oh, man. But that's kind of cool because that's not the only house. You know, we've been told about other shit now. I've kind of wanted to dabble in it, but then again, I'm like, man, I don't want to bring that home.
I swear I've seen the hoodie.
Yeah, do a little
The one
dabble.
with the hoodie.
Do a
seen the
little
hoodie?
dabbling.
At
Dip
the
your
hotel.
toes in, just enough.
Oh, shit.
Get all
At the
in.
top of the stairs on the third floor.
You've seen the hoodie?
I was live when I was doing this, and I was, because it's like in the middle of the night. For those of you that don't know, I was working overnight, and I was the only person pretty much working. So, but I would hear, I could feel like I could hear people, walking.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go and make sure nothing's going on. So I was like in the arcade of the hotel, and there's like the steps to go up to the first floor. And, and I kind of like, when I go, I kind of like, am I going to sneak up on somebody and like find them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, yeah, I would do that. I'd be like, here's something. And I remember looking at the third floor and there was a guy that was literally, it felt like he was staring right at me. But I couldn't see his face. He was in a hoodie. It was a black hoodie. And he was just standing there.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And
you
I was
pull out the
like,
gat.
and everybody's like on my live, like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I was like, dude, there's like somebody in a hoodie literally on the third floor, like just staring at me.
Damn it.
And then, and then I moved to try to see, like, I moved to the side, but I'm trying to keep my eyes like up on the third floor to catch him on, maybe on this side. Didn't see nothing else after that.
Damn.
It was like, where the fuck did he go? But yeah.
That's crazy because whenever I used to go in there and go skate, like that was a spot for all the skater kids at that time.
Oh, okay.
You had the downtown skate park. That was before Kirby, I think. But we would go into that old hotel and go skate the pool. And we wouldn't mess anything up. We were just skating the pool, you know?
Yeah, there was a fire that was in there.
Yeah. And the only thing I was ever scared of going in there was like the tweaker fucking homeless people in there.
Yeah.
Because you would go in there and all the rooms, they weren't vacant. They're fucking
People living in
filled
there.
up
Oh,
with
no
fucking,
kidding.
Yeah.
Did they still have beds in them? You know,
I think so. No,
I
I
can't
think they
remember.
did.
I wouldn't be surprised.
honestly.
Yeah.
can't
I think they
remember.
did actually.
I know, like we had it set up, and I don't know if it was us that did it. It could have been the homeless people that did it, but we had it set up to where like on the outside it looked like it was still boarded up and everything, and then there was a string that you would pull, and the board would close behind it, and then we had stacks and stacks of like shopping carts and all kinds of shit to just stack in front of that. So if anybody did get curious, aka the popo, if they came in or anything, we would hear those carts fall, and then we would dip the fuck out.
Oh shit! Okay,
You know,
you don't make
but-
own alarm system.
know.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, we never had anybody come in there while we were skating in there, and I know a good amount of people that would go in there and skate. But as we were skating, like there's homeless people in there living there. They would sit there, watch us skate. They'd be drinking and shit. Fucking,
Squatting.
do that. That's sick, dude. Fucking.
Oh,
You
dude.
gotta
hyping
get
us
your
up
own
and shit.
audience, man.
Yeah,
That's
we'd
badass.
be getting hyped
They'd be
up. from the
ODing and
homeless-
shit.
Yeah, fucking
It's like this dude's breakdancing.
nodding up and shit.
Damn, that's crazy, man. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Man, we need some more.
Yeah,
We need to go skate some abandoned
We need
shit.
more abandoned shit.
There's a lot of
No, I'm just
abandoned.
kidding.
There's a lot of abandoned
Yeah.
buildings downtown.
Yeah,
There is.
All
There
of
is.
them suck though. I went into the old Roosevelt.
Oh yeah.
The one
Oh,
that
yeah.
they've been renovating for 20 years.
Yeah,
or
it seems
whatever.
like it, huh?
Yeah. Apparently that's like a failed business thing that a bunch of people went in on.
A lot of investors have
people
lost
just
money.
pulled out.
hmm
But we went in there, just a fucking building. You know?
Yeah.
I really want to go into like some of the more secluded spots in the Cactus,
Yes, that's what
okay.
I want to do.
up in some of the studios that haven't been rented out in forever. Because there's people that live up there
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
Cactus. you
Isn't
know?
there a floor that it skips entirely?
Yeah, the 13th floor.
13th
There's
floor.
no 13th.
There's no 13th floor at all.
Nope.
That's a majority of hotels don't have.
They
a
skipped the 13th floor.
Yeah, it's like.
It's like
Hold
bad
on.
luck.
Do they skip the numbering it?
I think
Yeah,
they
the-
skipped
the
the
numbers
numbering.
Yeah,
not
they
on
just
Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm
there's
like, that's
still
the
a
whole
13th
floor.
floor. It's
Yeah.
just not numbered
Oh,
as the
yeah.
13th
Yeah.
floor. It's some weird like I
it's
don't
a
know
bad,
the backstory behind it, but
Yeah.
bad luck.
something bad happened
Yeah,
on the
some-
13th floor. I think it was the real famous haunted hotel.
The Cecil?
Yeah, the Cecil Hotel. Something super bad happened on the 13th floor or
Talking
something.
about that chick that they found in the.
I think it was older than that because like
But the 13th floor thing is it's been an old.
that's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, well, see, that's crazy though,
There's an
because
old
I'm like,
film.
okay, say, all right, something happened,
Yeah.
but it was big enough to go like, oh, we're gonna expand it to everybody's gonna follow this fucking.
Look
we're
it
gonna
up real
skip this, even numbering the 13th floor.
I heard so like everybody thinks of number 13 as being like bad
That's
luck.
what it is.
So I've heard this story about it on how like it's actually not a bad number. That actually like I might be butchering this a little bit, but like Freemasons, the number 13 is actually a very good omen number. Like that's a good number to have is the number 13.
Oh.
And that it was made to seem like a bad number because people like very religious sect or did I say that right? Sect, SECT, you know, like
Yeah.
they were like, no, that's a bad. So the very like extreme religious, they took it and they were like, that's a bad number because the
See,
Freemasons.
that makes me skeptical too, though, because I'm like, hold on, what are you saying?
Yeah, it's basically saying exactly what you just said. To cater to triskaidekaphobia.
Yeah, I was literally
the
pulling
fear
that
of the
up.
number 13, which is a common superstition in some cultures.
You're
Skipping
skipped.
the floor or relabeling it as 12B or 14 is a way to avoid potentially upsetting guests who might feel uneasy.
Yeah, and then as they said that the
Quit
number.
being a pussy.
Exactly, dude.
Sleep
Something-
on the 13th floor.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know if I could say
What I had read though is like it became like this thing where they made it like very taboo.
Yeah.
The number 13 was like an evil number.
Yeah.
You know, then hence Friday the 13th and you know the 13th floor and like anything to do with the number 13 was considered
became
a
like
bad
a
thing.
folk
Yeah.
superstition
Yes,
type of thing.
yeah.
So yeah, the superstition led to the buildings omitting the 13th floor to avoid any potential negative associations with tenants or visitors.
And then if you see a black cat on that floor,
Oh shit,
you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
There's a broken mirror, a black cat, and you're on the 13th floor.
Yeah,
Damn.
you're done for.
Call it good, buddy.
Just don't go outside
I
Hear
anymore.
that ghost?
And
Going
there's
down
a
the hallway.
and there's a guy wearing a top hat.
Oh no, Jeepers Creepers.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I feel like dabbling again. You know, I was like, all right, let's go in it again.
It sounds like I get excited, but then I remember that time when we got all like when we were doing it, and it was like when we had our energy.
Did you ever catch anything on that when you took pictures, Oscar? Because I know you were talking about.
I got
shadow.
orbs. I got orbs on ours.
Or orbs. That's what.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's like a crackhead house here in town that's like going viral again. Someone did like a ghost thing there.
I saw that.
Really?
Yeah, and someone commented on there and was like, I live next door to that. I've lived there my whole life. It's not a fucking haunted house. It's just a crack house.
Yeah,
Like,
that's funny.
They were like, the people, they were like from San Antonio or something. They came down here to go explore this house. It's like a cracked in over on 13th Street or something. And fucking, they're like taking pictures of the graffiti on the walls. And they're like, oh, and then we have the Satanist over here drawing the pentagram.
Yeah.
And then the dude commenting below it, no, they're just crackheads. Like,
That's literally
They're bored crackheads.
That's literally every abandoned building in
Yeah.
America. You know. Like,
Yeah.
What would be good to explore is the Lone Wolf Bridge.
See,
Lone Wolf Bridge or the tunnels?
Yeah.
The tunnels are crazy.
beneath the city.
Miss Hattie's tunnels.
Oh yeah.
I think a better one. I'll take these guys that have more validity of a story that they've seen shit. Get them all in one place. Because I'm like, okay, is it the house that you're in or is it you?
Is it you?
Right.
You know?
Gather all these people together.
Start vetting them
Yep.
out.
Put them in a
Just-
room together. Just close it off.
Y'all know the Conjuring story, the Annabelle, right?
Yes.
So you know the doll has been. They took the doll
The
out,
tour?
and she's on a tour.
Yeah.
They had her in Louisiana.
Plantation that burned.
The
down.
then the
plantation
plantation
house.
burned down.
They took her and they had her in
Marie
Louisiana
Laveau's
at this
house.
plantation home, gigantic fucking plantation home. The day after they take her from that home, that fucking place burns down.
Yeah, catches fire, burns.
And then there's 11 fucking.
That's fucking cool. I
She's serving justice.
mean, yeah.
Fucking-
There you go. That's actually.
And then the 11 prisoners escape.
Yep.
Like right after she leaves the state.
No shit.
Yeah. And now she's in San Antonio.
Yep. Now they have her in San Antonio. Well, actually, I
Oh
think
my
she's
God.
in.
How do we bring her to San Angelo?
No, God. Don't.
Yeah,
Do you want her sitting right here?
We're gonna put her on the podcast.
So Annabelle.
Annabelle.
So Annabelle.
If y'all get Annabelle in here, I want to be here for that. I will want to be here for that.
You know,
Tiffany,
Do you remember
get some
Cruz
context.
from
I'm on it.
Yeah.
He had an Annabelle figure.
Replica?
Yes, it was a tall one too.
That's cool.
And I was like, "You're never gonna sell that." The next week, that fucking thing was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
And someone that looks like Raggedy Ann, right?
Yes.
Like the real
I
Annabelle.
think the one that
The
he
real one
had
is
was
Raggedy.
the movie replica, but the original is Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, fuck, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Man,
I went out to
it's
the
a-
flea market the other day and I saw so many of those Raggedy Ann dolls. Just imagine.
It's crazy that
one of
they
them just
lasted.
fucking,
Yeah.
like staring at me or something.
Oof.
The big ones, like I said, I saw them at Contra Confetti. They had Raggedy Ann and
I wonder
Raggedy
if that
Andy,
was-
and they were that big. Like
I wonder if
as
that was
her.
the original size where they were like full size.
I think so.
Versus like lap
'Cause
size.
it
I
was
don't
like
think
a
I've
old
ever actually seen their
full-size
original
one.
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Full on.
I mean, either.
Seen a picture of it or
Oh, no. It looks like the old dolls because it's got the red yawn hair
Yep.
and shit like that. But
What do you do in that case? Like,
I
what do you
have
do
no
if you see a doll like just pop up and start running towards you?
you run.
Do you run or do you
Right.
just like assert dominance and kick it? Or
Oh, you know what? I guess that's right because you just like pick it up, right?
Yeah.
What if it's
Is that
like
what
what if it's like the Spanish version of Chucky? Have you
Ground
seen?
it, shoot it, and you're fucking throwing it at you?
Have you seen? You haven't seen the meme where it's child's play in Spanish. Whenever he attacks the mom.
Equals with the pinche madre. That shit, I did see that. That was funny because that meme is always like when you take your kid's Nintendo Switch away,
Oh,
or you turn the Wi-Fi off and shit. So it's freaking out.
Oh shit.
No, but that'd be cool, dude. I guess, is there a market for, like, because you do a lot of thrift for stuff like that? I mean, I guess
Like haunted fucking dolls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about like?
Man,
what about like?
There's weird people out there, man.
What about like shirts that have
I'm one
like
of 'em.
some crazy shit on it? Is there like people that look for those?
The what?
like an
Look for
Anton
what?
LaVey shirt?
Yeah, sure.
I got a fucking Aleister Crowley shirt right now.
Wow. That's
That one's pretty
interesting.
cool.
That's-
There's actually, so I watched a live stream the other day. It was an auction. It was on Instagram. This dude was auctioning off shirts, but someone asked him, like, hey, what else do you collect? You know, like, you have really crazy. He had, like, the first ever bootleg T-shirt of Manson on his, like, Charles Manson, like,
Okay.
as his mugshot and stuff, and he sold that for like $500 or something. And then he had other like weird things, and someone just asked like, "Hey, what other things do you collect?" He busts out this freaking journal, and it's like handwritten notes from what's that serial killer? I don't know if he's a serial killer, actually. Everybody was obsessed with him like a year ago. Richard...
the Night Stalker.
Yeah, him.
Oh, yeah.
Richard
He had
Ramirez.
written notes from Richard Ramirez and, like, just had a bunch of different notes, drawings and
Damn,
shit.
bro.
He goes and tries to find, like...
He has these?
Yeah.
Dang,
and it's
that's
weird
crazy.
because, like, there's people that, like, are obsessed with that stuff, and they're like...
There's
you
people
know,
that are obsessed with that guy.
Yeah.
like,
And there's
big
people
time.
that will,
He
like...
stayed at the Cecil.
obsess over serial
Wow.
killers and all this stuff. But on the other end of it, you have like the victims and the families that are like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
like,
are y'all obsessing over serial
He
killers?
killed my
You
grandma
know,
or
like,
my grandpa. Or
it
something.
is weird. Like,
Yeah.
if you're obsessed with serial killers, you should probably get help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just fucking weird in my opinion. But the like, I guess it's intriguing in a way seeing where the human brain goes.
Yeah.
As far as like why did they do what they do, you know, kind of thing. So I can understand that.
Yeah, that's
side of
weird.
things.
Yeah, you're right. That because it is weird how people are like that when their mind goes that direction. But on the other hand, when they get caught and they get thrown in prison,
Yeah.
the amount of love letters
Oh, yeah,
these
the
people
Yeah.
get
fan.
from women, I
People
was
are
like,
obsessed with
That-
it.
what the fuck?
Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
He had women like out the like I'm talking like they
Yeah.
they had to put a stop to it because he had all these women trying to go visit him, sending him stuff, love letters, marriage proposals. Like I think he actually
They did the
get
same with
married.
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy too.
Ted Bundy,
Yes.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
Charles
Manson,
Manson.
whenever he was
Tiffany, what's wrong with y'all?
Yay.
right before Charles died, this lady was trying to marry him, and part of the deal was whenever he died, she was gonna stuff him and put him in a like museum.
Oh shit.
Yeah, imagine going to some
What the
fucking
fuck?
person's
Yeah, that's
shop,
crazy. It's some midsummer.
just
shit or
going
something.
shopping for like some fucking t-shirts or something. Then you just see a live fucking
It's
Charles
Manson.
Manson chilling, stuffed right in front of you and shit.
That would be fucking wild.
Yeah,
Could you
we're-
imagine?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Manson never he never killed anybody, right? He was just a very
Influence.
yeah.
Talk people into it.
He was very good at talking, and that's what the people like. The
he was
government-
trained though,
Jones.
right? He was trained.
He
to
was
do
trained
that.
by
Yeah.
a CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MK Ultra, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Have you seen? There's a, and I haven't read the book. I want to read the book, but there is a Netflix show, and it is based off of Chaos, which is the book called Chaos, and it talks about. It goes pretty deep into that about the guy who is actually involved in another situation with JFK, Jack Ruby. Apparently, he goes and talks to this guy right
Yeah.
after that.
His handler, bro.
Yes, yes. And then he goes to San Francisco, and there's like this clinic in San Francisco, and he sets up in this clinic, and Charles Manson is coming in with like 2 girls daily, and he's having like one-on-one meetings. This is before Charles Manson was Charles Manson.
back
Yeah.
when he was writing songs for the Beach Boys.
Yeah, yeah. Like this is in San Francisco
Well,
before.
Did you know that?
Yes.
I heard that.
Yeah, they talk about that too.
But what's crazy though, okay, look at all the ties that are happening. He's writing songs and he's doing this bullshit.
Yeah.
Then he's tied with Jack Ruby, some of the shit that Charles Manson and that dude were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's a whole fucking psyop.
Yes.
It's
It was
100%.
he was created, man.
Hollywood.
He was,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was created. Then when he's done with this CIA guy in San Francisco, CIA guy goes away. He moves to LA, starts his cult,
Yep.
and then it goes like
yeah.
it was all created. You know what I mean?
I've always been
So
like,
cool.
I'm not obsessed with Charles Manson, but I have looked into him more because like just being able to manipulate to that like extent of what he did or what they did, you know, more so. And like, that's always been so crazy to me to have someone like nowadays cults, like the fucking Scientology stuff. Like those people are crazy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not trying to bash anybody's religion or anything like that, but like in general, like having another human being tell you what to do or manipulate you in a way to where you do whatever they tell you, like
without question,
like Jonestown, for instance. Like
that's what I was about to say, Jim Jones.
It's crazy. Like, how can you allow someone to have that much power over you, being another human being who isn't your mom or dad?
I don't even think it's just a real complicated form of manipulation, man. Because you know, MK Ultra, yes, it went away. That program did.
Did it really stop?
If it worked that well, there's no way that it's not working
better.
out. Yeah,
it's gotten better.
It's gotten way better. They don't need to sit there and have the suggestive cults, you know, kind of bring you in.
It just
now it's in social media. Now it's in advertising.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you want to buy something. Like I didn't really want to. I'm not really interested in that.
Like, that's enticing.
Dude, you know what's so weird? I was playing some game the other day, and I was having trouble on this one spot in the game. It was Dead Island 2. It was the first time I've played it so far, and I was like, man, what do I do? So I started typing into Google, like, what do I do at? And then it literally finished the whole sentence for me.
Yeah.
It's just so weird how that works.
Whenever I was doing,
how do you know exactly what I'm looking up or exactly what I'm?
It's like it's in your. It's like it's in your head. You know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's where they draw these people in. Where it's like, let's make this part of the game difficult, where we're gonna get a lot of hits when people come on Google, and then we'll send them suggestive shit.
Do you want to know how?
But I didn't even type in the game. That was what was weird about it. I didn't even type in the game at that point.
That microphone's listening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. You know what? So whenever I was taking art classes, one of the classes I had to take was like a marketing class, and I didn't go deep into marketing. It was just like 101, you know. And it talks about how certain colors affects the mind. You know, you know, like you could get hungry by seeing yellow and green and red mixed together. Mm-hmm. Those colors make you want food.
Same thing with like aromas.
Aromas too.
Yeah.
You never notice some of these restaurants are really cold? Makes you want to eat more food. It's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
You want to buy more food?
Warm you up? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a whole industry on just marketing.
Just on marketing. Like I said, we only touched the surface in that school. Yeah. You know, because it was just that wasn't my background that I was trying to get into, but I had to take it to keep on going. So it was like a 101 class, but it was mostly psychology. It was almost completely psychology.
Same thing with like advertisements and stuff, like Sonic, like the stuff they have on their like menu and stuff.
How fast it flashes at you.
Yeah. That's that, and then like you see a perfect ice cream cone. That's not made out of ice cream. It's made out of like plastic, or they use shaving cream. They use they use all kinds of different things for like commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just to kind of make you like, I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
It's all consumers. Like whatever will get people to consume, that's what they want.
Yeah. Marketing is it's manipulative.
Exactly.
It's so fucking manipulative.
It really is, and that's why like for my business, for instance, like I tell everybody what things are worth. Like today, I had this lady ask about. I have a Toy Story 3 promo T-shirt. I told her right off the bat, it's really expensive online. I'll show you. Like, I show them the price it's selling for online. And that, you know, me showing them what it's actually selling for kind of helps me in a way, because they're like, well, fuck, I'm going to buy it from you for $50 instead of $200 online, you know?
Yeah. And
it's good for my business, but is it going to work for everybody's doing that? You know what I mean? Because there are other shops here in town that sell shirts and like vintage clothes and stuff, and they do charge like online prices. Some of their stuff is like cheaper, but for the most part, like they do have online price T-shirts in store, but they don't mind sitting on that stuff because they know what they got, kind of thing. You know, so if they have a $500 T-shirt, they're not gonna sell it for $100. You know,
They're gonna wait.
They're gonna wait for the right buyer. Me, on the other hand, shit, fucking give me $100. I'll take it. Yeah. You know, you can resell it. I don't care.
Yeah, give me the money now. Why am I gonna sit on it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to sit on things. That doesn't make sense.
And the other thing too is like, what if the market changes and all of a sudden it's not?
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. It's like stock market. So the trading cards, the T-shirts, the video games, everything that we do at our shop, it's all based off of whatever the prices are that day.
Yeah.
So like, I could buy a shirt tomorrow that's worth $200, and then the next day it drops down to $50.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It kind of bites me in the ass, but that's okay. It's
part of the game.
It's business.
Yeah.
You got to move it fast.
Yeah.
Move it fast so you get those prices, you know?
Yeah.
God damn, that's cool.
It is. It really is.
It's
cool.
just, it's like I said, it's mind blowing, man. The whole industry of thrift is, like I said, I see it all the time, man. Now I got TikTok and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's so mind blowing.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is those people are actually hurting the industry because, I mean, I try to put everybody onto this. Like, I try, you know, I've told y'all multiple times, like, yeah, dude, you download this ad, do this, take a picture, wait for it to sell it, you know, whatever. Online, definitely better because you don't got to pay all these extra taxes. You pay your state taxes. You don't got to deal with the city if you're selling online, you know, like whatever. But as far as like thrifting and like the people going out and videotaping it and stuff like that and throwing it on YouTube or whatever, like it does help them because they're getting views and then the views stack up into money down the road and all that stuff. But as far as like actually doing it full time, like sure you can do it as a hobby and like go garage selling on the weekends with your wife or whatever, but you're not doing it full time. So like, don't fucking go record yourself. Yeah. One day out of the week, the one day you're going out thrifting, you know, and like showing people like, oh, you can get this. Or most of the time from what I'm seeing is people like haggling old people that are garage selling. So like you got this old couple that's like garage selling. They have like, you know, awesome vintage clothing that I would love to have in my shop and sell it, you know, for good money. But they're over here like, oh, you got this for $1. Can you drop it down to 25 cents? Knowing damn well they're going to sell that shirt for $80 to $200. You know what I mean?
Still like, trying to haggle.
There's no reason.
How about a nickel?
Yeah. Dude, I can't. The other day I went to a garage sale. It was my first yard sale I've been to in a very long time. And I was there for the VHS tapes because I collect VHS tapes. And I was looking at the VHS tapes and she was like, yeah, give me a quarter a piece. And I was like, okay, well, do you have a box I can borrow? And I just filled this box up. And she was like, well, the math's coming out to like $10. I had like 80 tapes or whatever in there. And I was like, what if I just pay you $1 a piece? And she was like, you don't got to pay me $1 a piece for these old tapes. They're not worth anything. I was like, ma'am, let me show you something real quick. I showed her how to use Google. I showed her how to use eBay. And I showed her what her tapes were actually going for. And that kind of bit me in the ass a little bit because she was like,
over.
Yeah, she was like, well, hold on, you have this tape right here, and this says it's going for $20 online. What do you think about that? And I was like, I'm not gonna give you $20 for it. Like, you know, I'll pay you more than what you were asking originally. And I did. I ended up paying her $80.
Yeah.
She was asking a quarter a piece, and she made out like a bandit, you know what I mean? I made out like a bandit too because I didn't have to pay $20 for every tape. But I want people to know like what they have so they can actually ask a good value. Like,
and that just ups the value on everything.
You have to you have to retain a lot of knowledge because when you go to places like this, you have to know like what you're looking for one.
Yeah. 100%.
And then when you see something, you're like, okay, but is that is that this one, you know,
Yeah.
or is it like, oh, okay, that's just like a, because like Disney tapes, like there were certain Disney tapes that were worth money, but it had to have like this gold like
They're not.
marking on
That's
it.
a rumor.
Is that a rumor?
Yeah. it's
Okay.
So
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like I wouldn't know the difference because I'd be looking for this fucking gold mark, you know.
and that's ruined VHS collectors as far as like the clamshell Disney movies. Like everybody thinks their clamshell Disney movies are worth $5,000. They're not. I'm not gonna buy them. I don't want them. You know, the Disney movies that are actually worth something are. They're called DCOMs. They're Disney Channel original movies. So like Xenon, Luck of the Irish, Cadet Kelly, stuff like that. That was only on the Disney Channel, not Pocahontas or Snow White.
shit,
Or,
okay.
They're not in the vault.
yeah,
They're
exactly,
outside. They're
exactly.
like-
So like I have 2 copies of Xenon right now, and each one of those are going for about $50 online.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was
It's
just
crazy.
hearing that song today.
But stuff like that is worth money, but not the mass-produced Lion King. You know, I don't care if it says masterpiece on it. I'm gonna throw that shit away. I want the stuff that you don't want. You
Right,
know, like
yeah.
the stuff that you don't think is worth money. That's what's actually worth money. The rumor started actually. This dude bought a bunch. Like he had a bunch of. I think it was the Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And he listed all of them on eBay under separate accounts, and he boosted the price up, and someone actually bought one of them for $10,000. And then everybody after that was like, oh, those are worth $10,000. This guy sold
Pump
it for
and dump.
$10,000. But no, it was just,
fear.
it was really a
That's
pump and
FOMO.
dump.
Yeah,
it was
pump and dump.
it was straight up a pump and dump. This guy had a mass amount of these tapes.
Yeah.
He wanted to offload them, so he hyped them up online.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing.
But
people
everybody
do with
else has
everything.
FOMO. It's fear of missing out. Like, oh
Exactly.
shit, he's got. I better
Exactly.
jump in.
And then that's when you have your grandma going into her living room, like searching her VHS collection for one Pocahontas or something that's
Yeah.
really worth 5 cents on the market. And you could look like the biggest thing that we have issues with is people thinking they know what the value is of things and not knowing what the actual sold value is. So anybody can pop up Google Lens and scan something
that's
with
true,
Google Lens, and then it'll pull up like recently listed prices on eBay and Mercari and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
If you came into my shop right now and brought me a shirt and say, oh, this is going for $500, and you pull up a Google Lens thing, I'm going to laugh at you, because I'm going to pull up eBay and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to laugh at you. I'll teach you what it's going for. You know what I mean? I'll teach you how to.
How about a giggle? How about a little giggle?
Yeah.
Maybe a giggle.
I'll kick you out. But, no, I'm just kidding. So on eBay, you just hit that filter button nobody knows about. It's very secret. It's right at the top of your page. You hit filter, you scroll down to sold, you click sold, and that's what things are actually selling for. And that's what you base your prices around.
Damn, that's crazy. Because I know eBay was a thing. I always knew eBay was a thing.
Yeah.
Last time we had you on here, I had some lab equipment, and I'm like, hey, fucking sitting there, I was like, hey, Amy, put it on fucking on eBay. It's probably gonna
Lab equipment?
yeah,
like a beaker and
it was a
Bunsen burner.
No. Had a little gold flake, had a little brown, blue flakes on the bottom.
Blue
of
flakes in there.
Hold on, what are we over here thinking, guys? Hold on.
No. It was just like to check your oils and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah. So I was like, we're probably gonna sit on it for fucking months, So put it on there. Who cares, God damn, if it didn't sell in 2 days.
Damn.
I was like, who's in there looking for this weird piece of equipment?
Everybody.
It was so mind blowing.
I'm looking for it.
You're looking for it.
Whenever, not that it specifically, but like you can refresh your eBay like every 10, 15 minutes. Something new is going to be on there.
Yeah.
And if you find a good deal, jump on it, because then you could jump on it and then resell it.
Yeah.
For a higher price. And then someone else is going to jump on it because you have a good price, and then they're going to resell it.
Yeah.
And it's just like a snowball effect. Everybody, I had someone come into the shop the other day saying like, oh, I hate resellers. I hate resellers, all this stuff. And I'm like, you're in a reselling shop. Like, all of us are. Anybody that has a used video game store, a used clothing shop, any kind of used item, they're reselling that item.
Yeah.
Walmart resells things. You know what I mean? They pay distributors. Game exchange. Well, yeah, they're secondhand. They're corporate business, but they like the world revolves around reselling. So I try to educate people on like
Dillard's. Don't mean to cut you off, but
No,
like
you're good.
Dillard's, all those handbags that they have. Everybody thinks that they're buying like brand new Louis Vuittons.
yeah, they got
Those aren't
vintage
brand new.
handbags.
Those are resells of handbags.
Yeah.
Like those
They
aren't
do,
brand new.
They do get new handbags, but
The majority,
most of their
though,
sales
yeah.
are from the vintage stuff. Like
Yeah.
people want the vintage bags,
Yeah.
and like the vintage Louis V and stuff like that. Because anywhere else, it's probably going to cost like $2,000 to get that from some guy like me named Brian sitting at his house, fucking finding this shit for $10 at a garage sale.
Yeah.
You know,
See, I mean, Goodwill does good with their obviously they're
yeah.
good. But I'm like, man, how much better could your profit margin be if you would just wash the clothes?
If you wash the clothes, God.
what's crazy is their profit
Damn it.
margin is insane because they get all of it for
for
free.
free, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is they're going up in price. Why are they
Oh,
boosting
Yeah,
their prices
they-
up?
Yeah.
Why are a shop like that, like if I got my stuff for free, I pay 30% of the market value. So whatever it's selling for, if you bring me $1,000 t-shirt, I'm going to pay you 30% of that. I'm going to sell it for 50%, and that's it. I'm not going to sell it for full $1,000 because that's just,
You kind of take the potential away from it if you do that.
that and
When a customer comes in, there's potential to make more. So like,
Yeah.
I'll pay you
Well,
this if that's what you
in
want.
store, I would never have something like that in store. That stuff just immediately hits online and sells within 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Wow, that's crazy.
I dropped my prices so low because I don't want that shirt. Like I don't want it to sit at my house.
You
I
want to
don't-
offload it as quick as you can.
I want to get it sold 5 minutes after I buy it. I don't want to keep it. I don't want it in my house. I don't have a huge warehouse to store things in. So the faster if I could take a picture at the garage sale and list it at the garage sale and sell it while I'm paying for it at the garage sale, it's even better.
Damn, that's crazy. See, I don't have anybody who wants to do that. I know a couple girls that's what they do. They shop at thrift stores.
Yeah.
And they get stuff together. I'm like, man, how cool would it be just to, hey, you want to go to business together? You know, I fucking hate shopping. I love making money, but I hate shopping.
Well, when people know what they're looking for, they have an agenda. I'm sure it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
100%. I don't go to thrift shops anymore. Like you'll never see me at Goodwill. I don't need to. Like it just comes to me.
They're hunting, bro. They're hunting.
Yeah, it's straight up called a
treasure
hunt.
hunting.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a hunt. Like, and that's what all of like anybody like me that does vintage clothing. That's what they refer to it as. I'm going hunting. Like,
Yeah.
me and my buddy, I'll ask him, "Hey, what are you doing today?" "I'm hunting."
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that or whatever. But for the most part, like, I don't need to go to Goodwill anymore. I did back in 2017, you know, whenever I first got into it and all that. But there's no reason for me to now because it just comes to me. Like, it just comes into my shop. I buy it from people. I buy it from my customers. They know I'm going to resell it. They're okay with it. They look at it and they're like, "This is a cool shirt. Can I buy this off you?" And I'm like, "You sold that to me. Yeah."
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Like,
That's fucking crazy. Damn, that is crazy.
but it's also like, I hate that people hate resellers. I understand it as far as like, there's a huge problem going on with like the card side of things, like Pokemon cards. You got scalpers. You got people that go wait at Walmart, watch them restock the shelves for Pokemon cards and buy every single one of them.
Yes.
Some of them are actual card shop businesses. Some of them are just random people that sell them on the internet. And
How do they retain their value if they're just restocking them? You know, they're
because
brand
they're
new
like,
cards.
because they're like, well, because they're like
it's
single
limited.
limited. They're like single prints. Like they're not gonna do it again.
Yeah, they don't
Oh, shit.
keep
The,
printing
the
these
next
cards.
batch is gonna be a totally different batch.
So they just keep coming up with fucking animals
Yeah.
or creatures. Oh shit! Okay.
or different like
Or the
variants
design,
of the card.
Or
very-
design.
yeah.
Punchy rock. Or fucking
Yeah.
big, big,
Punchy rock.
Big
Chill,
dick
dude. Leave Julian alone.
But yeah, that's
I
a
didn't know
whole
that,
nother
yeah.
ball game right there. Is the cards like,
I like-
those guys are literally just printing money.
I like that
And
people are out there doing
it's
reselling because
crazy.
it makes everything valuable. Like you
Yeah.
never know what you have.
Exactly.
It's like, damn, you think twice about like getting rid of something because like this might actually be worth something. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know what the fuck, you know.
But you
I've been
got shops like
hanging on to this.
one of the coolest shops in town that I love going to, looking at furniture and stuff like that, is Mad Style Vintage.
Oh yeah.
Those people get so much cool stuff in there, from like old glassware, old like kitchen sets, stuff like that, furniture in general from like the 1920s, the 30s, 40s, 50s, and it's still in really good condition.
Yeah.
And that stuff's worth a lot of money.
I went in there one time because I was looking for a specific camera lens. Bro, they had like OG camera lenses. I'm talking like from probably like some of the first camera lenses that actually came out. Like besides the accordion style camera, when they actually started coming out with like lenses that you could pop on and off. Like they had like originals of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, and for cheap too. And I was like, I kind of was like, should I buy this? I was like, it's just gonna sit in my shelf because I'm never gonna use it. You know, I don't have a camera that can fit that, but it would be cool just to have. You know?
think it's crazy whenever I talk about prices of some shirts, man. Prices of vintage furniture.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a whole
Oh,
nother
yeah.
market. That is
That
man.
70s style with the little peg legs.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that shit
Dude, they're-
sells like hotcakes.
Yeah, and they are worth some money. Like you find something below $500, you're getting a crazy deal.
No
you know,
kidding.
it's
Yeah.
insane.
Is there money for those old Mexican grandma, what's it called, couches that had the? Do you ever see them? They had the big old. They were just like real bulky at the end. God damn it, they look like
Did they have
big
like a
old
design?
pedestals.
Would they have a
Yeah,
big
yeah. They
design
were
on
always
them?
covered in fucking plastic.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
grandma
yeah.
was a squirter,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it has like a little swirl on the arm and like that
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
arm
yeah.
hanging off the side.
Yeah.
And then I would always, because I knew they were old because every time I would go and scratch it, you know, and it was just like peel up this waxy shit. I'm like, this is everywhere. What the fuck?
What I have found though with the furniture like that is the ones that have those, they're like cone looking legs. And they'll have like 4 of them around it, but they're thick, they're solid. Like you can unscrew that fucking leg, you probably knock somebody out with it.
Yeah.
But those were the legs, like
Yeah.
those peg legs. Those are like 70s style, and those
Yeah.
are worth some goddamn money. Like I don't really like the style, but some people do apparently.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if I could sell everything that I own right now and just open a furniture store, that would be
That would be it.
yeah,
Old
vintage
furniture.
furniture.
That's wild, man.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I
Do you-
mean,
do
look
you
at
re-
Mad Style. They're a success story themselves.
Do you just like see this stuff, or do you like actually actively researching it? Like I'm just trying to figure out how you like.
I mean, for the most part, I've just done it for a long time now. Like, I've been.
You're in the know.
Yeah, I just grew up like. I'm not that guy, but I just grew up like garage selling, like
Okay.
hitting up garage sales, finding cool things for real cheap. I was a broke white boy, so
Yeah.
you know, I had a shop kind of second
Yeah.
hand, but
I feel like I could probably go to a garage sale and look at tools and be like, oh, I'm buying that tool because I know
Yeah.
that tool's worth
like
money.
an old Makita or something.
Yeah. Oh, an old Makina. Yes. Dude, Makitas are badass though.
Yeah, I used to see them at goddamn because these little towns, they'd be reselling stuff, you know. And then you go and there's like this old Black and Decker that had the almost looked like a like an aluminum case, stainless steel
Yes,
case.
yeah.
I'm like, what is that?
That was the old school original power tool.
Yeah.
Before everything went to like battery powered.
Like, what Walmart did you get this from?
Yes. Yeah.
My wife's got a couple of old hair dryers. They were probably back in the 50s. You know, you can't plug them in because I'm sure you're shorting them out. And she's got she's got a couple of hair, what is it, the curlers
Okay.
that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
stick over a fire and you let it
What
warm up.
the
That's
fuck?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So I grew up on East 17th Street, and the older woman that lived next door to us, she had lived there since that neighborhood was established. She was a very old lady, very super nice lady though. She had like a little, in Spanish we call it a cuartito. It's just like it's just a shack that they had in the back. And really what it was an old camper shell off of an old school pickup truck. That was the roof, and they just built everything underneath it, and it was their storage. When we were kids, man, I'm talking like 8, 9, 10 years old. Well, I used to play with her grandsons. We used to like run around the neighborhood all the time. When we go in there, they had she had combs made out of metal. They looked like little hair picks. They were like maybe like this long, but they were made out of metal. And this is something you're gonna put in your hair. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen those? Dude, they were fucking wild. We use them as like ninja stars and shit, you know. You know what I'm saying? But they had a bunch.
You just threw away like $500.
Who knows? Who knows? You know, who knows what stuff like that was actually worth, you know, because this was like, we were talking like Great Depression type of stuff, you know what I mean? Like this is like really, really old stuff.
It's crazy to think about like vintage stuff in general, because in 40 years, you know, what you're wearing right now is going to be true vintage.
That's right.
Like, you know, it's going to be crazy. Like these fucking chairs are going to be vintage.
You were asking me about like when my parents are like cleaning out our old house, you know, the clothes I had in high school.
Yeah.
That was from the 90s. Yeah. But actually, that's hot right now. The 90s shit is this shit.
That's the stuff I want.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You're going to pull out your old Jinkos,
You got some old Jinkos.
Dang, you got some Jinkos?
No, I did actually have some Jinkos.
Actually, man, I think Amy may have some Jinkos.
That's
my
crazy.
Jinkos are all torn up on the bottom.
Yeah, because
That's good. That's good.
Is it really?
Yeah. You want them used.
There's kids out there paying $700 for old work pants.
Mm-hmm.
That's
literally just pants that
nuts.
are torn up from some dude doing carpenter or being a carpenter.
I'll tell you,
It's crazy. You could get
fucking nuts.
Spill some concrete.
I got some old oil-filled fucking greasers.
There you go, yeah. Dude. I shit you not. People will buy that.
That's fucking nuts.
It's
bro.
stupid. It's stupid, but it's also cool in a way because like a lot of people right now, there's more people shopping secondhand than ever before.
Oh yes,
Obviously, we're in a horrible economy.
Yeah,
like, our economy sucks.
Yeah.
Why would you go spend $100 on a T-shirt when you could go to Goodwill and pay $2 for the same exact T-shirt?
Yeah.
My wife actually told me today this incident that happened. She got a phone call at work. She works up at Dillard's, and she got a call. This guy found some real name brand fancy dress at Goodwill, still with the tags. He called my wife and was like, "Hey, can I return this? I found this today at Goodwill. It still has the tags on it." She was like, "The fuck? No, you can't return that." Like,
I'll take it.
It was brand new. It's like a $200 dress, and he found it at Goodwill for $2.
That is fucking nuts.
Dang.
You know here's what's crazy. So like my daughter, you know, she just turned 24 yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I still have all of the dresses that I bought for her for like, you know, prom, homecoming and all that. And they were like all these Dillard's dresses. They're all in a freaking closet. And I'm just like, I need this closet for something else. Well, if I put these on like Marketplace, people are going to be like, "Oh my God, you want $10 for that?" You know, just talking shit. I'm like, I don't even know what. Okay, I don't know what to ask for.
After we get done here, I'll show you what to use to get the price.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw all my tea out there.
Sure.
But
I just don't
I'll tell you
what to do with it
off
though.
the podcast. But other than that, like, there's all you have to do is research, and anybody can research as long as you can fucking read. You know, like all you gotta do is look it up. Google's there.
Don't
YouTube's
say nothing.
there.
I know you're like, this motherfucker can't read.
Like, well, fuck, I'll show you. I'll show you which color app to choose.
That's funny.
It's like I just look at. Why do you think I get comic books?
It was brewing back there. It was brewing. I was like, I'm gonna wait for him to finish talking.
I got him. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit because but it's like that's the thing. Like, you know, you put something up like on Marketplace and everybody's like,
they want
what?
a lowball.
You want $5?
Yeah,
like,
Marketplace is a wrong place to do anything because those motherfuckers. First, they try to lowball you like crazy, and then when you get a deal established, you don't ever hear from them.
Yeah. Or you know what's a better way to handle Marketplace? If you have an item that you want to sell for $5, put it on there for $30.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then let them talk you down to $5.
Get you to that.
Or if they talk you down to $15, shit, that's more than what you were asking.
Yeah, people are weird, man.
I had put some of my like original artwork and like that's like my actual photography. I put some of that like up on Marketplace.
Damn,
And
that's you?
Yeah. And I was gonna like, maybe I'll sell some of this stuff on there for, you know, a little bit of money. No, man. All it did was piss me off. I'm like, you know what? I was like, fuck y'all, and I took it all down. I was like, fuck all y'all.
Like,
You want too
I
much
know
for
I'm
that
good
shit.
at what I do.
I was like, all it did was make me mad. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
But you got to understand too, right? The people that are on Facebook, especially Facebook Marketplace, they're sitting on the couch, right? Probably got mustard stains on their shirt, and they're just they're just shitty people, man.
Yeah.
They're shitty people.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm the shitty person. I've been hitting up that German hot dog stand over there at
the Kraus.
Office Depot.
Yeah.
Dude, that place, ooh, fuck me up.
like that.
Yeah, but no, that is me. Like if I see a good deal on Marketplace, I will jump on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will do that. That's
Well,
how I get a couple
You'll
of my
jump on
high-end
it.
t-shirts.
These other they'll just talk shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing is, because I post shit on Facebook Marketplace, the first thing I gotta put up, if it's up, it's still available. Quit asking me, is
Yeah.
it available?
Yeah.
This shit.
When I sold my Hobie kayak, I was very surprised. Of course, it had to come from out of town, but I was surprised that I got more than what I was asking for. But that kayak held its value, and then at the time, it actually appreciated in value because all of a sudden they weren't making them no more. Like production had got the production because it was like around
Is that
COVID.
the pedal ones?
Yes, yeah. But the production,
I'm jealous.
they were not making them because in bulk anymore because production had gone down because of COVID. They just the warehouse wasn't pushing them out.
Yeah.
So
Everybody bought a kayak during COVID.
yes, and they were harder to find. Like the better ones were harder to find. So these people from Big Spring actually had hit me up about it. They paid me more than what I wanted for it.
Damn.
And I was fine with it. I was like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah, I was fine with it." But I probably had 20 other people besides them.
Is
trying.
it still available?
Yeah,
Hey, will
yeah.
you take $50 for it?
But at that point, I already knew what Facebook market. Like when I was trying to sell my own stuff, like
Yeah.
at the very beginning, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like, oh man, shit, this is cool. This is like an open market. I can sell whatever I want. Yes, you can. But everybody's looking at it like, oh, this is where we're gonna get deals at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna pay what you want.
Well, I mean, honestly, and maybe I'm just different, but usually, like, okay, for instance, that Toy Story shirt, I saw that on Marketplace. I bought that. I paid the guy exactly what he was asking for it.
Yeah.
He had it at like $50. That shirt's going for like $200 online.
Wow.
So for me to pay him $50, that's pretty much what I'd pay him anyways if he just came into my store with that shirt, So for me, like, if I see a good deal on Marketplace catering to my business, and if I know, like, I do a quick screenshot that shirt, go look it up, see what it's going for.
Mm-hmm.
If he's asking $50, why am I going to lowball that? If I know I'm going to
Yeah.
sell it for more, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Let's get it as quick
not-
turnaround. Let's go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, that's why I was saying, like, I hate when people say they hate resellers,
Yeah.
because not all resellers are bad. Like, I don't think I'm a bad person, you know what I mean? Usually I always pay whatever the person's asking, if not more. And usually everybody's like super excited whenever I offer them, like that lady, she wanted 25 cents for a VHS. I gave her $1 a piece.
Yeah.
And she was like freaking out over that. She was like, oh my God, this is so
Yeah.
awesome. Like,
Instead of just being there haggled all the time to try to lower these prices.
everybody just tries to
Yeah.
profit as much as possible. And that's not how you, if you're a business, that's not how you stay in business. Because
exactly. Yes.
people are going to catch on to that, and people are going to be like, well, why am I going to keep going to you
Yeah.
if you're just screwing me over?
Yeah, I gotta try that because I got into taking stuff I've never pawned anything before, and I'm not really pawning. I'm going there to sell my stuff, and I went all around town, man. And there's one particular pawn shop that would be the first place I go every time because they'll haggle with me a little bit, but they're easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So they'll always get my business.
Is it over on Bryant?
No,
Really?
it's
Sherwood Way?
Sherwood Way.
Yeah, Sherwood Way.
Right up the street?
Yeah.
On this side?
No,
Oh.
on the other side, the one. Well, I'll say the one next to Lon John Silver's.
Oh, okay.
Right there. I've always had good luck with them. Everybody else, phew. Like the one by for the Buffalo Wild Wings, bro. I should just go in there and fight everybody. I was like, dude, how
Rip off
dare
your
you?
shirt.
Yeah. I took 2 cameras, right? And I'm like, I just need to get rid of them because I don't need to hold on to them,
Yeah.
And they were, I paid a lot of money for both of them, you know, especially that one. And, dude, they lowballed me $120 for both of them. I was like, bitch.
For both of them?
Yeah, I was like, bitch, I'm about
That's an insult.
to start yelling in this, you know. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna mess with you. I kept one of the cameras that took the other one to the other one, Easy Pond or whatever it is. Dude gave me a great deal on it, man. Gave me such good of a deal. I was able to get that with it.
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's great. Fucking great.
I've had people come into the shop, get my offer, and act like my offer was too low for them, which probably at the time it was probably too low for them. You know, I don't know what people have going on. I just know what I can offer you.
Yeah.
And so they took my offer, went to a different shop. They got an even lower offer from them, and then came back and was like, hey, man, you know, I know we're mad about your offer or whatever, because they were mad. They were like cussing at me and stuff. And I was like, dude, I can't offer you, more. This is good.
Yeah.
This is a good offer. And they came back and they're like, yeah, we went to this other shop. They offered me this much. And we're here, and I was like, I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd be back.
That's
that's what we all pride ourselves on. We pay out the most. We want to take care of our community as much as we possibly can.
That's cool, man.
And we want to sell it for the cheapest prices. And that's always going to be our thing. Even I know like the gaming side of things, they're going through it right now as far as like the tariffs and stuff like that. That's actually really affecting them.
Really?
And and the cards and stuff like that, because all that stuff comes from overseas. Like our phones, our electronics, none of that's made in America.
No.
We don't know how to do that. we're not on that level. But I think vintage clothing, for personally, like this is just me like hoping for the best, right?
Yeah.
With all this stuff happening and everything's going to be transitioning to made in America again, vintage clothing's just going to get even more and more expensive.
Yeah.
Yep. I totally agree. I think you hit it on the downside, and it's, you hit it on, I guess, at the right point, I should say.
Yeah.
Where, you're right, man. I think you're gonna do really good.
But also, like, I'm not trying to get rich off of it. Like, if that happens, awesome. I'm able to help pay bills. We get our house taken care of, stuff like that. But I'm not making like millions of dollars or anything this past year that we've been open for business.
I'll give it some time. You'll get there.
Yeah, hopefully. That's the dream, right?
The other thing I was going to ask you on sales, obviously. I guess you set up. You were set up at Art and Uncommon Places?
No, this past market that we did.
Yes, the past market.
I partnered up with 01.
I saw that
at
one.
Their new location. That was mine, or that was like what we did over there.
How was that?
That was good, man. It was awesome. It was a good turnout. A lot of people, a lot of new faces coming out. We had 15 vendors, live music. We ended up not having a car show, which that's okay because the next one's gonna be good. And then, it was just a good time, man. It was really cool. All the vendors were happy. I didn't charge a vendor booth fee or anything.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it was
That's
just
cool.
pure profit. Everybody just made pure profit off of that. And for the next one, I'm definitely charging a booth fee, but because paying entertainment and all that comes straight out of pocket.
Yeah.
But 01, man, they hooked it up. Hannah, the manager over there, she's amazing. She helped me out a lot. She's a really good friend of mine, and we plan on doing a lot more really cool things.
Good. Oh, that's cool, man.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it when people come together like that.
Yes.
And help each other out.
I feel like it's getting better here in San Angelo.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Things like that are
starting
getting
to come
better.
up.
Yeah, there's more and more markets coming out, like
good.
Night markets, and I know the people that do like the Paintbrush Alley market and stuff. They're just getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy to see how big those are. I still haven't been invited to one. But
Hello, y'all listening?
But it seems like pop-ups definitely are the way to go, especially for our town.
Oh, yeah.
well, it's good, like especially so like if y'all were to want, I keep hitting.
Oh, you're good. You're
If y'all were to want to do some kind of pop up where you have vendors come out and do things, do it at a private location.
Okay.
I'm not saying that as far as like, you know, me going against the city or anything, but the city requires you to do so much stuff just to get anything through here.
Yeah.
And then everybody always complains about like, oh, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. Go out and vote. Vote for a different freaking
Oh my
city
God.
council.
Thank you for saying that.
Like
Yes.
the city council is literally the reason we don't have anything in San Angelo.
Yeah.
And these people have been in charge of San Angelo forever.
Yeah.
And nothing's changed. Nothing's gotten better.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I've lived here my entire life, and I will vocally say that as a business owner here in San Angelo, come at me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
y'all suck. Like,
It's because of
straight up.
the mentality of people that get in this like, well, what does my vote count?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, your vote could be one of many if you just went and
exactly.
vote, and if somebody else went
Yeah.
and vote. I said it will add up, and you would actually matter. So, but the thing is, you got to get out there and go do something. When this last election, I was so fucking disappointed.
Yeah.
I went into there. I was the same place that when the presidential election was going on. Well, at that time, there was a fucking line down the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to
So-
vote for the
Yeah,
feds.
they want to vote, right, for that. But then locally, which actually affects you a lot more,
Yep.
I was the only person there.
Yeah.
Nobody else was there. I was like,
People-
what is
Yeah,
this?
Facebook annoyed the hell out of me because I'm sitting and watching people complain about, oh, this person got voted in, nothing's gonna ever happen. and stuff
Did you
like
go
that.
vote?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm literally getting just flooded with this shit on my I guess For You page, right? I'm on the main page.
Yeah.
Getting flooded by the shit. And then I come to find out that only what was the percentage?
16%.
16% of the people of of
San Angelo's
population
population.
voted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way that all you people voted. There's no fucking way. I hear all this complaining, but then again, it irks me because you're right.
Yeah.
You want change, you want better, you want more for San Angelo, but yet you won't get off your ass and go vote.
Exactly.
There's all the excuses in the world. Oh, I had to work. Oh, I couldn't do this. Oh, I could look. They had
Hell,
early
they had
voting.
early voting for almost
You
a
get
month.
off from
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You are legally allowed to leave work to go vote.
I
And even on
actually
that-
went in to work late. I took a pay, not a pay cut, but I guess
Lost a couple
I
hours.
lost an hour or so off of work.
Yeah.
So that way I can make sure that I voted before I went to work.
But even then, man, they're open till 7:00 that evening.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right. That's when I went because I did. I went out and voted. It took me. I was in and out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not
Well,
that hard.
people, I think what it is like people have such a hard time differentiating the U.S. compared to local or state laws. Like people don't know, like I've had so many conversations in the past month where people don't know the difference between a state and the entire nation. Like they teach you that in like 5th grade, you know, like
Oh,
we
yeah.
are our own entity here that we have to vote for what happens in our state.
Exactly.
And not only that, but you have your county, you have your local like cities.
Yes.
You get all that stuff and people just don't understand that
People
stuff.
don't get it.
People don't take the time to just ask their phone, hey, so
Yeah, people would rather look at their phone, see who says something that they like,
Yeah.
and they go vote for that person on
Yeah.
a presidential.
Tell me
thing.
what's important.
Yeah,
They do doom scrolling where they just like
it's
in this.
horrible.
It's just in
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
in this.
dude. I've gotten to the point where like I'll post on social media for the business, and if you look at my profile, like I might share one funny picture, video, or something here and there, but most of the time I'm just sharing business stuff.
Yeah.
Either my business, my friend's business, any local business that I fuck with. I try to share everything as far as that. But other than that, like, dude, I do not get on my phone. I try not to. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
if I didn't own
exhausting.
a business, I would throw my phone across the fuck. Well, probably not because I paid like $1,200 for it. But other than that, like, I'm just so tired of like the social norm, and I don't know. There needs to
There's
be
like a whole movement of people that are not doing smartphones. They're all going to flip phones.
yeah.
There's like a whole movement of people that do. Have you heard of this? Like they're just like no more smartphones.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to detox myself.
Their life is going to be so much harder. Than
Good luck paying your bills, dumb.
yeah, you fucking idiot. You got to write letters now, bitch.
Dude, shit. You got to write letters. I hope you got stamps.
You got a pigeon or something?
Shit.
I love my phone. I will say that. I love the technology. I am all for the future. Like, I want technology.
Yeah.
But I am so tired of just seeing people bitch.
Social
and
media
seeing
is- it's the people you're-
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
people
tired
you're-
of people. You know,
Everybody has a platform like us.
Yeah.
go follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on
But
Subscribe to the What Did You podcast.
Some people really shouldn't have a platform. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Some people would say that about us too.
I'm sure.
I
sure.
get some
yeah.
entertainment. I get some entertainment out of it. Like, there's a couple people, I'm not going to say names because it's going to make me look like a piece of shit, but there's some people that like express their entire life story
Yeah.
on
Oh,
there, and
yeah.
they're like, oh, my husband cheated on me today, but hey, we're getting tacos. And like,
Yeah.
That's not cool.
not everybody needs to see that shit.
No.
Like,
The ones that get me are the TikTok videos where it's like, all right, somebody got cancer, or it's like one of them. God, it was this. It was this chick, right, and her son got in an accident or something. So anyway, she's sitting there explaining why this song's going. She's doing this dance. My son was diagnosed with something, or he broke a rib, and I'm like, what are you doing?
why are you dancing on
Why are
camera
you doing
right
it?
now?
Is
Yeah.
it like where they do like instead of the like they do? It's not like a rap, but it's like as they dance, they tell all their issues or what's going on.
Yes, but it's all in text.
Yes,
Like this chick was
Is
doing.
it ASMR type of thing? Is that what it is?
it's just a stupid
It's
show.
No,
just-
they're just trying to get views.
Yeah, it's trying to give you.
Yeah.
She's literally doing this while she's in the hallway in the fucking hospital, where you see people being wheeled in and out of fucking rooms.
Blood's all
Yeah,
spurting from her
and I'm
son's
like,
neck and shit.
what are you doing? We don't need to hear all your. There's some stuff you need to keep private, dude. People are TikTok is fucking mind blowing because I'm like, wow, you really just put all your business out there.
So like,
It's a Truman Show.
yeah, that's a good movie.
Right?
To them, it's like a cash grab.
Yes.
For me, like, so me and my wife, we kick it old school. Like, whatever we're going through, that's our business. We're not
Right.
gonna fucking post on Facebook like, oh, she didn't make me fucking coffee this morning. What the fuck? She don't love me. Blah blah blah. All that shit. Like, that's. I was told by my grandpa before he passed away, keep your business between your spouse.
Yes.
Like, you don't fucking spread that shit on the internet. You don't spread it to your neighbors. You keep it in the house.
That's in the
like,
house,
you
yeah.
fix it. You fix it. And I think that's what's wrong with today's society is like everybody's getting divorced, everybody's breaking up, everybody's losing their fucking families or whatever because they're just putting all their fucking business out there, and then people are judging them from different points of views and getting their own opinion, like, oh, your husband's a piece of shit, or oh, your wife's cheating on you, you fucking suck, or
Like, oh, did you
whatever.
see
Like,
that thing that your wife talked about?
Yeah,
Oh,
or he's like, see how he's getting defensive? He's cheating on him. You can do better, babe. Something
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
And I'm like, you
Feeding
get
off-
all this validation from people that don't even fucking know you, and you're willing to throw this entire relationship.
We
in the
actually
fucking
went
trash.
through something like that. My wife posted some song lyrics one time. And
People took it the wrong way.
these people took it the wrong fucking way and was like, oh, I know what you mean. My husband's doing the same to me and all this
Oh,
shit.
man.
And my wife was like, she commented on there, was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Damn.
Yeah.
we're good.
It starts off this way, then he starts abusing you, starts hitting you.
Yeah,
I've
like-
been there, honey. Please run. You need to save yourself.
It's Deftone.
And I'm like,
it's
what
like Deftone lyrics, and you're like, he's gonna stab you.
yeah. Don't go to sleep.
Don't go to sleep.
Yeah. Don't climb in that bathtub.
Yeah, that bathtub full of
God.
blood.
I think the people take the internet. The internet is a very good place to express yourself.
Yes.
I firmly believe that. It's a good place to express yourself, but fucking limit yourself at least a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
Give yourself some boundaries there.
Yeah, like, care about yourself. You know what I mean? I've seen people doing this weird shit on TikTok, like fucking
The whole world doesn't need to know.
robot shit.
Everything.
They're acting
Like,
like
everything.
robots for
oh, the
clicks.
fucking the
and-
NPC stuff.
yeah, that.
That shit
It's
sucks.
mind blowing.
Don't get me going on.
First
that.
things first, though, clean your rooms. God damn.
Shit.
I don't need to see this video and have this. There's this chick had a big old fucking dildo on her nightstand.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
God.
we can all see that. I was like, what
She probably does know that, and it's just like, oh, look.
probably.
Yeah,
So they
she's
can all
Probably
talk about
making
it.
money
Like,
off that on OnlyFans.
I'm still gonna do the fucking creature cock here. I don't know which one I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be right in the middle of the fucking table. Unless we have a serious episode, okay, I'll take
Right,
it.
okay.
They'll put a hat on it.
No, I got a little. I heard about the creature cock on
creature-
the last
did you?
episode. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be fucking hilarious. It'll be so funny.
Just chilling in
Everybody's
here.
like, this is
I'll
very
just be
distracting.
sitting here staring at a cock. I'm like,
I'm like, oh, you were saying? Am I having to hold it? I'm just like,
You're just like you get nervous. You just kind of reach over. You're just stroking it and shit. Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds good. What?
like one of those stress balls.
Yes.
but in all seriousness, I do agree that the internet's a good place to just express yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do have a lot of stuff to say, and they're not able to say it to anybody because people just judge them
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
their face, and that sucks worse than being judged on the internet.
On the internet,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
you tell someone, like, if I'm looking at you right now and I'm like, hey, dude, you know, I got this weird bump, and I don't know how to feel about it. You want to look at it, and you're like, no, dude, that's fucking gay, or like whatever. Like, you know, I'd rather get rejected online compared to you telling me that in my face, you know. So I do understand that, you know, some kind of therapy behind it.
Yeah.
But
You need to find somebody you can talk to because, I mean, you post stuff like that on, you post anything on TikTok, you get all these fucking doctors that come out.
shit,
Every-
I'll just fucking
yeah.
ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT,
Fucking,
yeah.
what's wrong with
Yeah.
me?
No,
I'm fucking-
you know, all of a sudden you start getting advertisements and shit. Like,
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is this? You got what is that fucking athlete's
fucking-
foot of the fucking crotch or something? You know what the fuck?
But I would agree with you with the internet being a good place. It's honestly,
People
I
just took it
wouldn't
to the
say
extreme.
good. I would say it's a place to do it, but it's a lot of the feedback that you get out of it that's not good.
If you want me to be 100% honest with you, I think it's like my generation's fault because I was born in 93. So
Oh,
like
sure.
I grew up during all the transitions. I played outside. You know, if I came inside, I got beat until I got back outside. Or, you know, you go eat, go outside. You know, you're eating ice cream, go outside, all that. And then we got computers. And it was a normal thing for parents to have a desktop computer sitting there playing Minesweeper and illegally downloading stuff on LimeWire behind your mom's back or whatever. And then the internet shutting off because you downloaded something illegal. And then you're like, I don't know what that is, you know?
Yeah, computer don't work no more.
Yeah. What's going on?
Nobody's calling the house. Why? Are you on the computer again? God damn.
But
it.
I think
what is
what
this video,
happened
though?
was like,
yeah.
and I'm not trying to sound mean whenever I say this to any like of the older listeners, but I think it's 100% like we revolutionized the internet that our parents paid for. And then now they're like coming into it and they want to be a part of it. And they're trying all this stuff that we've already been doing since, you know, I've been doing the internet shit since I was like 6.
Yeah, you
6,
were born
7.
into it. Yeah.
So like everything was, we revolutionized the internet. We're the reason for the technological advances, not directly, you know, thank you Taiwan, but fucking, you know, we found the loopholes. We did all that stuff. We were MySpace, you know, we were the start of Facebook,
miss
and then our
MySpace.
parents got into it. And then you see like Cheryl, some lady over on Lindenwood or something, 80 years old, saying, typing out on Facebook, like, saw a bird today or something like that. You know, like the older people are trying to get into the internet and they have gotten into the internet, and that's where the huge like debacle's going. Like it's almost becoming like political, where like, or it actually is
very
100%
much, yes.
political.
Yes.
Like if you're fucking left, right, up, down, whatever the fuck side you choose, like it's on the internet and you will see people bitching about it.
Oh, yeah.
You now have a
And-
platform to preach now.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
it
The
is,
older
yeah.
people saying, "Oh, you don't have a house because you don't work hard enough."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got
Or
the
it's-
younger generation. I can't afford a fucking house. 'cause-
Yeah, because of y'all motherfuckers. And it's true. Like me and my wife got lucky on our house, but Even then, like my grandparents paid $5,000 for their fucking house.
Yeah.
You know,
I would love that. You know,
you said
I'd
you
already
were
be paid off.
how you were born in when 92, 93?
93.
She about my sister's age.
Yeah, I'm
So
born in '88, so it's the same
I was
shit.
born in 81.
31.
When you were born in 83, 84?
83.
Um,
God damn.
damn.
I know what I'm bringing next.
We had
year. Bringing some walkers.
you bring a walker up in here.
There's some slippers.
Make sure there's tennis balls underneath, so we can slide across the road.
No, y'all are my brother's age, so I grew up with all of that. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up with everything y'all grew up with
Yeah.
because I got all the hand-me-downs
Yeah.
and shit like that. So
Well, we had a computer in our house. I want to say our first computer in the house was like right around 91 or 92.
floppy disk.
The floppy
Dude,
disk, yes.
yeah, floppy disk.
And I was already like into it because I remember in elementary school, I was still like at that time, I was probably like still in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, something like that. And there was a computer in the library. I went to Reagan.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a great school, but we had a computer. Yeah. That fucking thing was mind blowing. Like I wanted to know everything about it. And then when we got one at the house, I was like, holy shit.
Popping
Like,
that.
dude, I wanted
Oregon
to
Trail.
Frogger.
Dude, I wanted to be on that fucking thing.
Oregon
No.
First thing he looked up, Pornhub.
My dad knew some people. And so like I had the original Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh, that's sick.
The original.
That's cool.
And I remember playing that fucking game endlessly. Like I just wanted to fucking kill Nazis. I'm like, fuck Nazis.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck them all. Fuck all of them.
That was the
Kill
whole
them all.
game, And then we got like he brought home some floppy disks and they were like network programs. This is whenever shit had just barely started coming out to where you can network with people. So there was like this is before AOL. This is before CompuServe. There was this program called the Imagination Network. Mm-hmm. There was 2 other ones I can't remember, but I remember the Imagination Network because it was kind of like a game, right? And within the game, there was like this. I think it was like a medieval type game. There was a tavern, and that was like basically a chat room. That was the original chat room. Nobody actually got on the game to play the game. Everybody wanted to go to the chat room because you could conversate with other people, and that was like your original DMs.
Yeah.
That's what that
That's
was.
crazy because now the only time you see shit like that is like on the dark web and it's like people fucking looking for kids and shit.
Yeah, and honestly,
Fucking
now that I look back at it as a little kid, I'm like, you know what? Those are a bunch of fucking older men. Yeah. I was probably one of the few kids, at the time. Like I said, I was probably like 9, 10, 11, 12. But no. I mean, but what I'm saying is, I would like everybody else that was on there was probably
what else
older
happened?
men.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I was thinking about South Park where he's like, I made it. She's like, wow, you must be really short. I was like, what do you eat, 34, 8 inches?
Yeah,
wow.
shit.
You must be a really short guy.
But that was the original internet. That's where it started. Was that those little? And then I guess what was it AOL next or was it CompuServe?
It was definitely CompuServe because
CompuServe?
I've never heard of that.
CompuServe was the next one, and then it was AOL, and then it was like Netscape, and then it just kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Netscape.
AOL and Netscape.
Yeah, there for a minute, AOL had the whole market. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like that. Everybody was, oh, you got the internet? And it was like, no, I just have AOL.
Fucking doo-doo-doo.
Yeah,
Remember
that?
the dial
at
up.
Walmart, they would have like those AOL discs or whatever.
The cards that they'd sell.
Yeah.
The little gift card thing.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we're fucking old.
I need to watch
Dude,
Y2K,
but
y'all.
Just imagine in that short amount of time that
I need to
it's
watch
changed.
it on HBO
You know,
Max.
dude, like that.
Just take the same from like when we were kids till now. Take from now and another 20 years what it's
Exactly.
gonna
What
be.
I remember very vividly was when the very first iPhone came out. That revolutionized everything.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, everything changed.
Yeah.
Because now you had a computer in your
iPods.
pocket.
Well, what's crazy is like, if you really think about it, before all the computers and stuff like that, shit wasn't changing as fast.
No,
like, and then once we got that computer going,
Oh yeah,
fucking everything changed. I want to know who they met. What kind
Right?
of fucking gray person did they meet? You know what I mean?
Who?
Little short guy with big eyes.
I probably did, man. I think they reverse engineered something that they was like, oh shit, this can work.
oh yeah.
Oh yes,
The shit from
Yeah.
Roswell.
like Area 51 type
Yeah,
shit.
because I mean, like fiber optic. Come on, man. Like that's been
Yeah,
around for a
fiber's
while.
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, you send information through light?
You know what's
What
funny?
the fuck?
I have fiber optic wire from the early 2000s, and it was for a surround sound system.
Okay.
Oh, the old, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for a
Optic.
surround
They used to
sound
use
system.
it for like sound bars and shit like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, it was had a square.
You had a little square,
Yeah.
and then that would plug into like your TV or whatever you were plugging it into. Like I think there was very few audio systems you could plug it into, but it was for a fucking. But now, I mean, that's what
They
it is.
have
That's
data
fiber optic.
going through that shit.
Now they have data
which
going
is
through that
crazy
shit.
to
Yeah.
me because like, why are we limited? You know what I mean? Like, if they have that, what else do they have?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is that I mean, when fiber optic first came out and there was a whole light shit, right? Information was traded real fast. Now they can almost up to 1 million times with the same shit they have. They can go 1 million times faster just by changing the spectrum of the light. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's mind blowing.
Going light speed.
is.
Yeah, you can check. That was so mind blowing. I was like, okay, so when are we going to implement this shit? Because let's keep
You know
going,
what's
man.
crazy is like
I'm tired of buffering.
these are so normal in our life. Like nobody actually thinks about it, but like having a fucking computer in your pocket is crazy. You got a calculator, you got your bank, you got every single thing you need in your phone, and just it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
So, how far back do you think we'll get knocked back to the Stone Age? Have you heard this solar flare that might be hitting us?
Oh yeah,
Are they
the one I
predicting?
sent you. Yeah. or
Yeah.
sent-
So, say that hits us and knocks down all our fucking
Golly.
communications.
dude, I'm good. I was an electrician for 12 years. Fuck everybody. I'm good.
We're going to your house. So we're going to your house for electricity.
I know
that's
how
the
to
plan,
create
y'all.
the electricity. I'm good.
Going to Brian Duffy's house.
Oh
Don't-
man, see,
dude,
that,
show
like,
up. I
how
got
far
guns.
back? What does that disrupt? You know, what does that disrupt? And on top of that, what do you have physically that's gonna?
Do you
get
think
get
it's
you by?
actually going to do
So,
anything crazy,
this-
or
no,
do you
well,
think
here's
it's like
what
a
I
scared?
know.
There's so like the
I
bigger cities are going to be fucking like ridiculous. There's so many people that are
What
absolutely.
are you actually going to say?
They're retarded.
We're on YouTube now. We're on YouTube now.
Keep it cool.
Got to be all cool about it.
Who owns YouTube?
We say corn now.
Oh yeah,
Corn.
Corn. We say grapes.
That's okay. I'll just put a.
I don't like grapes.
I just put grape.
I don't want to be grape.
I did put grape.
Well, so what I was going to get at though is like, it depends on where around the country you're from on your survival of this. If something actually happens, like we're out here in West Texas, I hunt. You hunt. You know how to hunt. You have guns. You go. You know,
I've been hunting my
other
whole
parts of
life.
the country, they would have no idea what is edible and what
They'd
is not
hate to
edible.
see us coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they would have no idea like what is edible and what is not edible out there in the wild. You know what I mean? They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't fucking know. Everybody's so stuck in their phones.
In
They
their
would be the
screens, yeah.
people that
Like, dang
go
it, I
hit
can't
up
Google
grocery
it.
stores.
Yeah.
They would be the people that go immediately to loot Target.
Yes.
And
Yes.
me, I'm not going.
No, hell no.
Fuck that.
I'm waiting.
I'll wait. I'll
wait.
wait till y'all kill
I'm gonna
each
watch
other.
people stock up, and I'm be like, okay, you got everything. Go into your house.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
Sit back and watch.
Yeah.
me and my friends, we've actually like talked about like what do we do, because like we go and train, like we go do shoot matches and stuff like that out there at the gun club, and we actually train for stuff like random situations that could happen, could not happen, whatever. It's just preparation.
Come
type
up with
thing.
scenarios.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like a lot of people are like, oh, y'all are fucking lame, you know, you're cosplaying with guns or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, what are you going to do whenever shit happens, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of people fail to realize that. It's like, okay, call us preppers, call us whatever you want, right? But when the government has a contingency plan for something like that to happen, you need to be having something as
Exactly.
well.
Absolutely
And
right.
if they have something planned,
Exactly.
why don't you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna save every single citizen.
Absolutely not.
They don't care about every citizen. They care about the wealthy, and that's it.
I'm glad that y'all do that because I'm a strong believer in if you're gonna own a gun, you better fucking know how to use that
Yeah,
motherfucker. Because you don't
100%.
want the day to come when you actually have to use it and you're like, oh shit, this is my first time actually
Yeah,
trying
then
to
you're
fucking
fucked.
like I don't know what.
You better not move.
Yeah.
You better not take another step. You better not take another
Like,
one.
I'm like,
Or another one.
like you don't even have
Please
a
stop.
like you don't even have a bullet in the chamber. Like you
Yeah.
know, you're just holding an empty fucking barrel. At
Yeah,
me.
you
Like,
don't know what
like,
you're doing.
you're-
So in that situation, when something like that happens, if an EMP, because like what you said on the last one, if an EMP hits, we're fucked.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like as a country, we are fucked
Yep.
because of the amount of people that don't believe in being ready.
Yeah.
And
everything going digital currency, that's even fucking worse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, 100%. Not going to put all my business out there, but I'm good.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I don't want to sound like a crazy prepper. I don't want to sound like, because there are people out there that go overboard and they're like stocking up their entire house with canned goods and fucking crazy shit and like 20,000 years of water and shit like that. I don't believe in all that. All I need is a gun. I will find my shit. I will kick in a door and find my shit.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it's going to come down to is like everybody thinks they're like, oh, we're a nation. We're here together. We're not even together right now. And nothing's happened. You know? So like who's to say like my neighbor doesn't try kicking in my door before I kick in their door?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody goes tribal immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all about survival.
Yeah.
And it's all about who has the bigger gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or who can shoot better.
Yeah. And it's cool how that happens. I mean, it's not cool that it happens. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, if you honestly, you see the process because that's where it ends up. Everybody goes after their own shit, right? And then all of a sudden it becomes a small community. And then you watch the hierarchy form itself.
Yeah.
And it's like
it grows and grows and
yep,
grows.
and it's always the one who knows what to be doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Look at I'm telling you, the very first few seasons of Breaking Bad, the zombie one.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. The first 2-3 seasons
It's a good example.
are really fucking good because those really put it out there on how it would probably go. That's actually how it would probably go.
I think a better example would be like the Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, because that's when the outbreak
because
happens.
you see it all happen. You see a neighbor turning on neighbor. You see that shit. You see them doing all that.
Again, when the CIA has a plan for
you
the
should
zombie
too.
outbreak, you need to be
paying attention. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And like what I was saying, me and my friends, like we've talked about like what if situations, you know, because it's all hypothetical, right? We're not planning like a mass like kick door event or anything like that. It's just like if shit happens, you need to be ready for that kind of stuff. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I don't want to sound like some crazy fucking guy stocking up with wheat in my house and shit like that. No, what's going to happen is I'm going to wait for everybody to loot all the stores, and then I'm going to go steal from you. I'm going to go steal your shit that you robbed from the store. And if you fight against me, whoever wins, wins. You know, like at that point in time, it's
survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. And that's when, you know, boys become men. And that's when everybody that thinks they're ready is going to be proven whether or not they're really ready. Yeah. So like,
that's how I get a kick when I'm come across those kumbaya people. Oh, we can all have some, bitch. Okay.
No.
Give me.
Somebody's coming, like, maybe for just a minute, but somebody's coming to take it.
But even then, like, you have your friends that you make these plans with or whatever, and like, how much can you actually trust those people? Because when shit really hits a fan, they're going to be looking out for themselves.
Exactly.
Like, you're brought into this world alone, you die alone.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
But that turns quick on scarcity.
Exactly.
Because I mean, you'd be surprised what you would do when you get hungry or your kids get hungry.
Like who do we eat first?
Yeah.
You eating the neighbor. You eating that stupid son of a bitch.
I'm like, Oscar's been eating good for a while.
Hell yeah, I've been eating good.
To be honest, like, I'm not even staying in town. Like, I already have a route I'm taking. I already have a spot I'm going.
You know what's crazy about San Angelo? There's a lot of bridges to get out of town.
Yeah.
If something happens to all the bridges around San Angelo,
you're
stuck.
I mean, you're
In a vehicle.
stuck. So.
Oh, in a vehicle, yes.
But even there's low water crossing.
Yeah,
But
if
a lot of those people that don't go hunting or don't go fishing or don't know the back roads, you know,
they're
people,
stuck.
they don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to turn off on 288 to cross over to wherever.
Yeah, they'll be the first ones that batten down. They're batting down the area.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a real, I hate to see, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? So when shit like that happens, I always notice my surroundings, right? Where it's like, there's a Walmart at every exit of San Angelo except for one. You know, so if say the government does come and say, "Hey, we're gonna shut it down,"
I know which way I'm going.
Exactly. You know, and how fast you got to get the fuck out. You got to get out of Dodge as quick as you can.
Within hours.
It's not a
If
coincidence.
not even hours.
Yeah, It's not a coincidence that, anyways, to me, that these neighborhood Walmarts, the grocery stores, are in the places that they're in.
No, it's good. I like them being there.
Yeah.
Have you thought about the one side of town that doesn't have that Walmart when you're leaving is a military side of town?
Yep.
That's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I pull it up because it's so blatantly obvious. It's so obvious where.
You think the government plants Walmarts in certain spots?
Yes, I absolutely do. Because I mean, they built highways.
Remember Jade Helm?
Yeah.
All those Jade Helms were staged at Walmarts.
That did happen. Yep. I forgot about that.
Yep.
They were staged at Walmarts.
And nobody ever talks about that anymore. Like, whatever happened with any of that?
It's all went to the wayside, man.
Y'all are crazy. Yeah. Y'all are crazy. That's what happens. They're like,
when you see some of these Walmarts, right? I would say, the one in Odessa that closed down. They closed down for plumbing. Somebody from the city for plumbing. Somebody from the city was like, "Hey, man, they haven't come apply for any permits for any work or anything that needs to get done. We'll go reach out to them. Let's try to get this because it's taxable income that's coming, right?" So there's like, "Hey, they sent somebody out from the city to go help them out. They got met in the parking lot by goddamn security, so I had them turn around.
No shit.
Yep.
Damn.
They
City officials
didn't allow them in the building.
What?
And I'm like, hold on, what the fuck?
Private property.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's private property, so they turn them around. I'm like, hold on a minute. You literally, and it's crazy.
You don't want help?
Yeah, you don't want help. You're not looking to fix a problem, obviously, right? So I'm watching these videos, and people are like, God, I work for this such and such company,
Private contractor.
This private contractor, and they, like a mile away, they get them in these carts and stuff like that. They go into this building. This building's it's blocked off. They know, and one of this guys is like, I'm pretty sure we went into this building, we got taken down a floor, and then we got onto the route and we left from there. We show up in a fucking building and everything's walled off, like partitioned off. We're doing work in this specific side of the building, but you can hear other people working on the other part of the building. He's like, so I got out. I'm kind of, I counted my shit, whatever. He goes, what I can best figure out is that we're working inside of that Walmart. Because the Walmart, we literally took off west. I come down, I'm getting my bearings together. We're taking off west. The only thing that would take me that time to get there is a Walmart. And I'm like, but that Walmart's closed. It's been closed. Mm-hmm. It's not going to open. So what kind of work are we doing inside this building? And
what was the whole Jade Helm thing again?
It was a riot control is basically what it was. It was I can't remember what the acronym was.
That was like during the end of the second Obama term, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
All before, because we know that COVID came out of a lab. Was it put out on purpose? Who knows?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Again, we better shut the fuck up because
Allegedly.
I've got to go. Yeah, allegedly. I've got to go back. YouTube's already flagged us for like giving medical information.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So I mean,
they're so fucking.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love y'all.
I'll keep those words out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was that lab. And who knows what else they're working on?
Yeah.
For them to come up with contingency plans to handle specific shit.
Well, it's crazy because like during the whole COVID thing, I remember back in like 2018, 2019, there was an article that I read talking about this viral infection that was going around in China.
Yeah.
And nobody was talking about it. It was like, it was just like a news feed article that popped up on my phone or something.
Or when Dr. Fauci came out and said the next administration is going to have an outbreak.
And then I saw that article, and then like a year later, COVID happens, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I've read about this in China. And then they came out with, I don't know if this ever got proven wrong or right or whatever happened, but that Harvard doctor that was like working over in Wuhan and had the foreign exchange students coming over here from Wuhan and all that. And like, I don't know if there was ever anything like actually from that, like proven that actually happened. I just remember seeing like there was a doctor and then some foreign exchange students that got arrested, and then out of nowhere, we got COVID and all this random.
Well, there's some shit
Crazy
going on
stuff.
because you saw that lab that was taken down in California, you know, and they found there were samples of COVID and other infectious diseses.
There was a whole
that
bunch
were in
of,
that lab.
I didn't
people
hear
from
about
China
that.
too.
That's
There was a
crazy.
ton of people from China that
Yes,
they
they were
came in
Chinese, yeah.
illegally. That were running the lab.
Yeah.
They're like, wait a second, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on? Like, how do these people get into the country? Of course, they came in through the southern border. You
And
know?
some of them had directions on a piece of paper that said where you needed to be.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't hear
Yeah.
about that.
And I'm
at
like,
all.
hold on, what the fuck is going on? I mean, what's really going on?
I mean, I won't lie to you. I've been surrounded by so much political stuff,
yeah.
like crazy, like at the shop, at my house, fucking all over. Like anywhere I
It's
go,
hard to
it's
escape
just
it.
political.
Yeah, it's hard to
And
escape.
dude, honest to God, I am so tired of politics. Like
Yes.
beyond tired. I don't care who's running the show. I don't care who's the president. I don't care about any of that.
With that
like,
being said, do you think that's also part of the deal? Like, that's also part of the psyop.
like
To
overstimulated.
overwhelm you with so much of it that you're like, you know what? I just don't fucking care no more. Whatever.
I mean, it could be.
You know?
It very well could be, but I think another thing of it is like they're purposely breaking up the country. Like,
sure.
they
Oh,
are-
definitely. Yeah.
They're 100% turning people
We
friend
say
against
we
friend.
say it all the
and-
time. A country divided is better than a country united.
Yeah.
For the people
Exactly.
in charge.
Exactly. And it sounds crazy, or a lot of people look at it as like, oh, you're fucking, you're on the left or you're on the right or whatever. Like, no, I miss the times, and I said this on the last one too. Like, I miss the times where nobody fucking talked about who they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about their pay. They didn't flaunt their shit. We just lived
Yeah.
as a society.
Yeah.
And everything was so much simpler.
Yeah.
And well, as like for us here, but there was shit popping off in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But you know, we
People
can't.
people used to guard. That was my right. I can vote whoever I want to. You can't ask me who I voted for.
Yeah.
It was my right to vote whoever
Right.
I want for, and it's my privacy. I don't have to tell you. And now everybody's like, "Oh, I'll tell you who I." You know, and I'm like, no. Now you're giving up one of your rights. Like
Yeah.
your right is to vote whoever you want to in your own way, and you don't have to answer to nobody.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because on every level, I do not care about any politician. They don't care about me. Like Trump, he does not give a fuck
shit,
about
yeah.
the people. He does not. Biden, he did not give a fuck about the people. None of them do. They just say whatever they can to get into that office.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's not.
Sure,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so
And-
high up there in their own echo chamber, they can't give a fuck about
Exactly.
it. They have no
Exactly.
idea. They have no concept of the shit
And
we
it's
go
crazy to me that
Absolutely not.
people,
Yeah. No,
people like us, just ants in the fucking ant pile, worker ants, fight each other for some celebrity guy that's running the show.
Yep.
Or because that's all it is. Everybody praises the president as some kind of celebrity.
Yeah.
And people go crazy over celebrities. Everybody, of course, our president so happens to be a celebrity. But prior to that, you go back to Bush or anybody else, everybody praises the president as if it's some weird cult. And
Yeah.
I don't understand that mentality. Like,
because
it's just fucking weird. Like,
It's almost like it was set up as a whole pony show, right? Because we have, with all our agencies and everybody that's going on, right? Everything else is going on. How do you give the guy that's only going to spend 4 years? He's a 4-year term. You can't give him all secrets.
yeah.
You know, so he's not the one running the show.
Exactly.
He's the puppet. He's just the one.
He's just
hey,
a face.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's the
it.
face of the-
yeah.
He's
We
the
need you-
figurehead, yeah.
We need you focus on this dude while we do our bullshit.
Who's
This
paying
right.
him?
Exactly.
Like-
Yeah.
Exactly. Who's now? Like I said, man, my best example, man, is that I lean to Marvel, man, because I really do. I think there's a real life Hydra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Well,
a
there's
real
a
life
there's
Hydra.
a deep state,
Yeah.
which is technically that's your Hydra.
Yeah.
There is a deep state.
And I'm like, because you hear some of these, like, God, there was a couple presidents that were having these, and this was back in the 60s, 70s, I can't remember, where he's like, yeah, man, I'm not even privy to some of the information. I'm like, oh, that tells me right there, you're not in charge, man.
Yeah.
You don't have shit to do
Let
about
me
it.
talk to your boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So, like, if y'all would have met me 10 years ago, you would have been like, holy shit, this guy, like, if I would have been the same person as I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you would have told me, shut the fuck up. Because
I wouldn't have.
all I did back then was talk about conspiracy shit and how the government's controlling all this stuff and all this shit.
I'd have been
and
like,
all
talk
this
more.
Stuff. And then I got tired of talking about it because everybody would always tell me like, dude, shut up.
Yeah,
like,
people don't
that's
care.
Annoying.
Dismiss it.
That's
Yeah.
annoying. But now everybody's doing it.
Now it makes
Everybody's
sense.
like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
And all this shit. And I'm like,
I miss the
I've
days.
been saying this a long time ago.
yeah, I gave up on that.
Have you
Like,
seen-
whatever, we're all dying.
Have you
Whatever.
have you seen the memes now where they laugh about it because it's funny now because they're like, oh, I miss the days when my conspiracy theories were actually conspiracies.
Yeah.
You know? But it's so fucking true.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we laugh at it because it's a meme, but it's fucking true.
Yeah.
Like everything that everybody thought was like, oh, that's just fucking some conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And there's crazy ass movies too about stuff that like, is it just a movie or is it like real
yeah.
shit? Like there was this one movie, I can't remember, it was called The Tartarus or something about the Tartarus Club. And
Okay.
it was basically this movie about it was like they had a camera. It was like a Cloverfield type of movie where
Okay.
they recorded themselves and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And these two guys, like their friend went missing, and he was like a super big conspiracy nut, and he was like tracking these people, like going to this resort type of place, and basically like the Freemasons, the Illuminati type shit, and
Bohemian Grove.
yeah, and pretty much, yeah, exactly, Bohemian Grove, and they ended up infiltrating this club in the movie, and the movie just fucking ends. Like one guy conforms and he like becomes part of it and gets like hypnotized or something, and the other guy's like freaking the fuck out, running for his life, trying to hide and get away from these people because they're literally hunting him. It's their game. Like he was brought in, he got the wrong color card or something. I can't really remember the full movie, but he got like the wrong color card, whereas his friend got the other color card, and his friend was accepted into the club and he got the wrong color. So he got sent to this little cabin with like two other people, or it was like a group of people. And next thing you know, they're running through the woods, running for their lives, and you got these people chasing them with machetes, wearing masks and fucking goat masks and weird fucking.
If any listener out there knows anything about like the fucking these little secret societies in San Angelo, if you even have any, please, I want to hear some stories. I want to hear about some red rooms. So oh yeah, bro.
There's some stuff that's out there. I don't want to die, so I don't want to say everything, but there's stuff like that's happened in San Angelo that's been weird, like stuff that's still unsolved to this day, like the cult murders that happened back in the day.
O.C. Fisher stuff.
Yeah.
I remember those.
That stuff was actually like, I've heard stories from people that hung around those people, and it wasn't cult type of stuff. It wasn't, they just pawned it off on that because that was like what everybody's scared of, know? So it was an easy escape for them. But I've heard stories where like there's families out there here in San Angelo that have a lot of money in like the Santa Rita area that have had weird Diddy parties and weird.
I've heard of the Diddy parties.
The freak off.
Weird things like that. And, I'm not going to drop names because I don't want to die. But other than that, like,
they're there.
There's people that were actually involved with random things that have happened in San Angelo that haven't been ever answered.
yeah.
And they're still walking around and doing their thing, owning all of San Angelo, and
yep,
they're good to go.
Oh man, okay, we got to get y'all off the reel so we can talk about it some more. Because man, I got some stories.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, I mean, we were allegedly invited to one, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. and they all click up, man, because you hear about these events that happen. Allegedly. And it's literally by invitation only. You know, you only hear about these parties that happen because you have to be invited to these parties.
Yeah.
You know, and they happen a lot, you know, and like we mentioned when the last time, it was a while back, you're like, I don't even know that was a thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's something you have to be invited to. And you have to be a prominent business owner, you know, or you got to know somebody to know somebody. And there's a big ass, or I guess eyes wide shut type of parties, you know. Yeah. There's
when we were talking with Cozy and we were talking about movies, and I think I brought up like thought provoking. Like, what's your favorite that was my favorite thought provoking movie because it could go so far. You know, I mean, and that could be literally that exact group of people could live in every fucking town, every fucking city in the whole country. Well, Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, okay.
Tom Cruise.
That type of society group of elite people could exist in every fucking city in the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very possible.
And they do.
They do.
It's very weird because we've been approached too about things, not that, but like just random things and like people wanting to invest and like, I don't know. It's really weird.
You want to hold on? You want to give me how much to do what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fucking nobody.
Yeah. Exactly.
You want to just give me this type of money, and what do you? You know, it's enough for me to be like, hold on.
You said
it's shady as fuck.
Yeah.
That's shady as fuck. Yeah.
And like I've worked like as an electrician. I've seen some weird shit in people's houses and like weird shit. And there's a couple houses in the richer part of town that like I will never go back into this house because of what I saw, and they're just weird. It's just weird people, weird vibes, and I don't care, you know, like I don't care if they came for me. Who shoots faster, you know, kind of thing. But also at the same time, like we're in San Angelo. Your big secrets aren't that big, you know. We're not.
Yeah, but most of those people, man, it's generational wealth. So it's people that have been in San Angelo for
a lot of generational wealth.
100%.
Where it's like it all seems back to the way I like to say it is that it all leads back to some kind of boredom.
Yeah,
they've never had to struggle. They've never had to worry where their next meal was coming. They never even have to worry about fucking money because they just swipe the card. There's always going to be something there. You know, so it's those people where it's just like, oh, now you're so bored. It's kind of like with, you know, you ever heard of this porn analogy that you start watching the innocent porn and then it just like snowballs into, you needed
to get crazier.
Yeah, you need to get crazier just to fix your shit, you know, and it's kind of what's happening here, generation after generation. I'm bored.
Yeah,
you know, I'm bored. I don't have any struggles. I don't have anything, so I'm gonna, you know, get with the rest of these other fucking trust fund kids, and we're gonna make our own little club, and the club snowballs into something crazy. Upon that, and there's a lot. And after the podcast, we can talk about it some more. But
100%.
But shit, man.
If y'all want to hear after the podcast, tune into our Patreon.
Yeah, just tune in. You get all the extras,
which doesn't exist yet. But I'm thinking
it may be coming.
Jump on that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like a Patreon type thing.
Well, what we need to do is get it.
But see, so we do talk about a lot of things off air.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's more between all of us. Like, some of that stuff is like, no, it's not meant to be for anybody. That's just for all of us just to talk about.
Yeah. We end up with just like the videos of like the outtakes of all the Deftones and the stuff that we cut out.
Dude, I took a lot of Deftones outtakes on that episode. Holy
That's
shit.
all they got.
But yeah, sorry, I just had to say that.
Oh, you're good.
I forgot where I was going with it, but hey, Brian,
where can we find you?
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate you doing it.
Absolutely, man.
And we just got into like some random conversation.
No, that's good. That's what we do.
It always does.
That's exactly what
I was gonna say. It's like you was like getting onto Patreon. I was like, I think we need to. We can just get more people to share our shit, you know, because that's the biggest thing.
It does help.
Yes, helps a lot.
Kevin Littleman, Kevin is awesome.
Awesome, dude, love that guy.
Kevin's amazing.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the political spectrum, but God, he pulled me a little bit closer to that way. So I'm like, all right, man, I get it. I used to be center.
What I liked about the whole thing with Kevin is he wasn't shy. He's talked about it all, and then
just
he
genuine.
he wasn't like, okay, like the next day or not the next day, but when the episode finally came out, he wasn't like, oh man, I didn't like this. He was wide open about it.
Yeah.
He pushed it out there too.
Yeah,
and I was like, bro,
100%.
I fucking love that. That's what I've always wanted is for everybody that we bring on.
Kevin is a real ass dude.
Very much.
Real ass
Absolutely.
dude. Same thing with Christian. Same thing with everybody y'all
Yeah.
brought on so far. Like
Christian's cozy.
Yeah, cozy. My bad.
For those
I
of
know
you
him
out
by
there.
other names, but I'm a firm believer in the same thing. Like I see it and I say it. Like
Yeah.
if I say something that's not true, educate me.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Tell me what the truth is, and I'll roll with that.
Yeah.
For the most part, if I see something and it's not like accurate or anything like that, I'm gonna call it out. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to be like a sheep. You're not. We're not on this earth to be herded by certain views or anything like that. And it's crazy that people make it a thing to hate each other because of their political stances, even though we're all in this shit together. Like,
Absolutely.
we're in this together. We bleed the same color blood. Unless you don't, then that's a whole nother fucking
Yeah, that's a different, different story. Yeah.
we got some issues.
But that's why I'm liking it, man. The last few people that I've had on here, I've always said that I was center right, and then I became center, and now I feel like I'm being pulled over to the center left.
Center left.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, a lot of this does make sense, And then there's of course there's
There's going to
far
get to
left.
a point where it goes too far, though.
Yeah, where it goes
Yeah.
too far. Then
And then
I got to reel this back.
100%.
Yeah,
in.
you got to.
The best way I look at like political stances, I take a little bit of everything, and I find the things that I like about it,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, I agree with that, and then I see something from the other side, and I'm like, but I kind of agree with that too, for my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Which if you're listening to this and you don't like that I said that, I do not care. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's your right.
Just straight up.
No,
Like,
that's your right, though.
honestly,
That's your
exactly.
right.
And my whole thing is like, if you can't voice yourself and you can't just like do the things you want to do, same thing like Kevin said on his show was, taking that risk and doing the things you want to do. That's how you do it. You don't just talk about it. You don't just sit there and actually sit there and accumulate things and talk about it, because nothing's ever going to happen from it. Nothing will ever come from it if you're not doing anything.
It has to be
do
action.
it. Yeah, exactly. So like all the keyboard warriors on Facebook complaining about local elections and stuff like that, you're not doing anything, so shut up. Like, just shut up. You suck as a person. Get out of your house. Stop typing on your phone. Go vote.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, all it literally takes is going and changing it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like all your complaining, man, can stop. Stay busy.
Exactly.
Stay busy. Go out and do something.
Exactly.
You don't have time to fucking
Touch
complain.
fucking grass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn it. Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
How can everybody reach you and find you?
How can we find you?
Instagram, come by the shop, 3230 Sherwood Way. We got 3 shops in one. I'm sure if you listen to this, you probably already know. We got Pixel Junkie, we got Thread Pix, and we got Spellbound. Best way to contact me is on Instagram. I fucking hate Facebook, but Instagram, hit me up, shoot me a follow. Watch out for some of the stuff I got planned, because I'm trying to do more like community aspect things, trying to do more night markets. I want to do more markets throughout San Angelo. I partnered with 01 on the last one. I have a couple other people that I'm going to do stuff with. And yeah, we're just going to keep going. Nothing stopping.
That's badass. Anything we can do to help, let us know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Absolutely. All the time.
Cool, man. Brian, thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
hey, guys, check
Thank you
us
all
out,
for listening.
please.
Give them a follow.
Okay. Huh?
Give them a follow and share their shit.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you.
There you go.
All right, well, take it easy, guys. Catch you on the next one.
What it do, baby?
What it do?
What it